and welcome to Prestige Encounters. I am your Dungeon Master Salcos, and this is the Dungeons and Dragons campaign where not even the Dungeon Master what's going on, brought to you by Prestige Game Community. The champions are quickly unveiling the conspiracy behind the Dragonborn and Dragon King captures. But before we get into the session tonight, a lot of the music you'll be hearing tonight is brought to you by Midnight Syndicate. Midnight Syndicate is a music production group that brings you goth, horror, and fantasy RPG music. You can go watch their videos on their YouTube channel, add them to your playlist on Spotify. You can even ask your Amazon Alexa device to play Midnight Syndicate right now. You can find out more information at their website at midnightsyndicate.com. Or if you want a direct link, you can also type in !syndicate in our chat here on Twitch for that link. Thank you, Midnight Syndicate. And Sarah, what do you got for us?
We have deals on coffee and beans. That's what we have. Using the code word Prestige, you can get 10% off your order of Found Familiar coffee beans or ground up beans. Is that the same thing? I don't think so.
Whole bean, and then there's ground bean, which are just beans that have been ground.
Yeah, coffee grounds.
Well, from a bean, get a bean. With Found Familiar coffee, 10% off using the code Prestige. That is Prestige. P as in prestige, R as in prestige, E as in estige, S as in Santa, T as in Tyrannosaurus Rex, I as in I love prestige, G as in GG, E as in everybody loves Found Familiar coffee. Get 10% off with the code word Prestige.
Do they deliver to Canada?
I have no idea. Why would you ask me that?
No reason. I just want to know.
You just called me out like that.
Ellis, you have a thingamajigger for us.
I do. I have a couple.
Segue.
So just a quick reminder that we do have those Artificer and Bloodmancer.
Blood Hunter
Works on the red
Blood Hunter. You'll get it one day.
I'll never get it.
Official
Those are
petition.
both
Let's
on the
just
red
change
bubble. So if you haven't seen those, go look, go get one. In addition to that, we also have the Roll with Pride design that we have Sarah modeling today. And please help me remember, it's the Jackal
Holder, which I have
Jackal
on stream
Holder.
right now.
Look at that fancy
which
artwork.
is
Hold on, let me
just
see,
in
let me
time
see.
for the spooky season too.
Can we get some hype
By
in
the way,
chat?
it is September 1st, meaning it is officially the start of spooky season.
Exactly. So that is the Jackal Holder
Happy
design.
Halloween.
I will, if you want to have it before Halloween, the sooner you order, the better, because Redbubble does use independent contractors to manufacture all of the products. So, definitely get in on this now if you are interested.
If you are not, get out of my face.
If you don't like spooky wear, all of the other designs are still alive on the Redbubble store, like all of the classes. So, yay. All right, thank you, Elif.
I just realized that. Sorry, continue.
I want to know what you realize now.
I do. I want to know too.
I realized that my passive perception has not been updated on the group notes in probably 2 levels.
And I wonder whose fault that is. I wonder
Your
whose
mama's.
responsibility that
Your
could be.
mama's.
Yeah.
Ember has an announcement for us.
I do, and it's Minecraft. Block
What about
game.
it?
Everybody loves it. Best selling game of all time. So our server now has our creative server is now up and running and working. And very, very soon we are going to have a Skyblock server. Soon TM. We're close, right? It was supposed to be today, but there was some setbacks, so we'll have
some
a Skyblock.
technological issues of plugins not wanting to work together.
Yeah, so Skyblock server coming soon, but we still do have our vanilla server. That's mc.pgc.gg. It's a nice, friendly place where you can come use all the farms that I made and not break them because they are now protected. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. Jack, what do you got for us?
Hello.
Not much, just a little announcement, a weekly one, that we can be found over on YouTube and also anywhere you get your podcasts. So if you're watching us on stream, hey, check us out if you'd like to listen back to any previous episodes. By all means, look for Prestige Encounters over on YouTube or Prestige Encounters anywhere you get your podcasts. We can be found anywhere, like iTunes, like Zune, ICQ, like LiveJournal, like any of those places. Any of those places.
Who uses?
Like you could just download it onto your iPod and just listen to that, you know?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jack.
Anyway, that's us, yeah. Find us.
Zark,
Loving this energy tonight, guys.
you have an announcement for us.
I do have an announcement for us. Players, viewers of Twitch, don't you just, if you're a dice goblin like myself, you love the clickety clackety stones, right? Everyone loves them, right?
Not if you have to pass them.
Oh.
We're doing a dice giveaway tonight?
You're fucking with me.
No, I am not. I am doing the.
We haven't had a dice giveaway in a while.
It has been a hot minute. So yeah, so during the stream tonight, we will be doing a dice giveaway, and any follower can enter, and it is unfortunately only for the US and Canada only, excluding Quebec. So during the stream, we will be giving out a code word that you will type in chat so you can enter to win your own set of dice. I can't talk tonight.
Thank you, Zark. Last announcement for the day. Our Halloween one-shot is announced and the date is set for our community. It is $25 to join. It comes with a bust portrait of the character you'll be playing as, and it is a streamed event as well. Join our Discord for more information. That will be on October 27th, taking place of the Prestige Encounters session for that week. In September, there is a one-shot that's going to be hosted by our very own Kelwin / General Boone. So be sure to... No, that's this month.
Yep.
So be sure
September
to
now.
tune in to that as well. Sign up for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Epic level one-shot. So it's going to be fun. Well, everybody, unless there's anything else to announce.
Is it time?
Oh, it is time.
It's time to.
Time to pop,
It's
lock,
time to
break the jam.
Procedure counters.
D&D.
Great.
At the return of this
round-
intro, we will be receiving a cease and desist.
Grab your snacks, grab your drink as we welcome you to our table, where we are about to begin session 74 of Prestige Encounters. And welcome back, everyone. So let me get some music going as my dog squeaks her toy right at that moment.
Even your dog is trolling.
Where we last left off, the champions of Cataran, being framed for the murder of Lewis, the captain of the Eastern Guard, decided to finish up business in the city of Cataran. They gathered supplies while Ember and Sarah met with a lieutenant of the same guard Lewis belonged to, a large Leonin man. Ember explained that the party had nothing to do with the murder and attempted to resurrect him, but Lewis's soul was stolen. The lieutenant, believing Ember, gave what he could. 3 days before the Empire began to pursue the champions. Soon after, the party had Lord Livine visit, speaking in code, which Jack picked on quite quickly, I must add, to move south, as he had secured horses for them from a one-eyed tabaxi trader. Soon after, the champions were on their way towards Restoria. On their first night of travel, they managed to catch up to the Ministry of Information's forces. Ember decided to take the lawful approach, confronted them at Nick Knock's House of Wonders. Unknowingly to the party, Lenore Valine was present and immediately began to attack. During this battle, the minister determined their magical prowess, many of the party needing to be healed to save them from death. Seeing that the ministry was quickly losing forces and losing the battle overall, Lenore opened a gate and took several Dragonborn and Dragonkin captives with her and whatever other forces could escape. The last remaining guard was questioned by the champions, who revealed that they were looking for a Dragonborn or Dragonkin related to Kargrath Wren, a dragon that fell long ago. With that, and their answers and all the information they could get out of him, the party killed the Minister of Information's surviving member. Champions, you stand in the remnants of your battle. In the very filthy and cluttered shop of Nick Knock. Nick Knock himself lies bleeding outside. What would you like to do?
He was healed. He ran off into the forest.
Oh yeah, he did run off. That's right. Thank you.
Ember is Ember still a giant ape?
Ember is still a giant ape.
Okay, I'm gonna tap him on the chest.
He's gonna be like, "This isn't you. I know you."
This may as well. This may as well be. With all due respect,
I know
Professor.
him. I know him.
I know him.
Look at me. Look at me. This isn't you.
What's
That was reckless.
the sun's going down.
The sun's going down. How do you know that? I stare at the sunset. I'm like, oh, I guess you're right.
Oh, hey, look, it is. I just heard somebody say that to a big angry guy once, and it helped calm him down.
Oh.
I already made that reference, damn it.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I said
I'm sorry.
real low, big guy.
There you go. I missed
Night,
it.
It is getting dark out. You guys were caught up to the Ministry of Information's forces as night fell.
Okay.
I'm
Cool.
gonna drop the polymorph form.
Okay.
I don't know how reckless it was. Just announcing ourselves.
I think it's as it has become clear, our enemy is someone who swims in very deep waters. We are surrounded potentially. We have someone very powerful who has means that we don't. That's become very clear now.
Did you guys
information?
Did you guys notice the name that the underling said? Kargrath Wren?
Yeah. What kind of name is that?
They sound famous.
Well, I've been thinking about that book that Ember showed us. The professor has that book about dragon history, and it has that guy's name in it.
Just point of clarification, I gave that book away.
But you guys did read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can find some kind of evidence right now before we move, and I do agree we do have to move, but if we can find some kind of evidence tying all of this to Lenore Valine, that could help us when we get to Restoria. I don't know how likely we'll be to find anything like that. She seems like a very careful type, but nonetheless.
I should have 3 more uses on my soul cage, if I'm not mistaken. So if we do decide to ask a question about that name or any other of the names that we think of, or we can do that in case you want to make that connection that way.
Right. It's not like we have any surviving witnesses to question.
But
She did something with her soul cage thingy to that guy we took out.
You were going to say, Tyler?
Was that dragon the same dude that, what's his name, that we met in the Feywilds at the Storm Giants place? Is that the same dude?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, that was his ancestor. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they're looking for basically that guy. All right, cool.
Or somebody who can. Yeah.
There's a couple other things I was thinking about from the book. They said they're looking for an artifact, something to fight the dragons with. And the book talked about an artifact that people used a long time ago. And it was created from the life force of Kargrath-Ren.
The life force of Kargrath. And they were experimenting on Dragonborn. You catch that too?
Yeah.
Looking for Dragonborn, perhaps who were descended from Kargrath-Ren?
Possibly. Also, the first time somebody tried to use it, it didn't go well for them, and they got turned into some kind of monsters.
That does not bode well for your friend Lumiskan. I'm afraid unless he's broken out, you may not see him again. If what you say is true.
Yeah, I think there's one really big clue in that book. I didn't pay it as much attention before because we've been moving so quickly, but the last place that artifact was used, if it still can be found somewhere, was in what did they call it? A sea of glass or something similar to that.
Sea of broken glass.
Broken glass. So I'm not certain, but I have two guesses where that could be. There's a desert to the east of us, and there's the obsidian waste. Has anybody heard anything about dragons related to either of those, or?
I peeked at the book a little bit, but outside of that,
because if we can find this before Lenore, that's probably better for one thing, because I don't like the method she's willing to go to in order to address this dragon problem.
It may take a while. But in the meantime, just to put a pin in that just for a moment, DM, we saw them take 3 Dragonborn into the portal, correct? That was what I saw on the map. Or did we see more? Like, are there any other Dragonborn in the immediate area?
Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
I'm good at that.
I would like.
Awesome.
So make it with advantage, whoever's wants to do it.
Okay. I've got a +10. Here comes.
Okay. Got a +13.
Oh, yeah. You should definitely do these too.
I also have a.
Well,
There you go.
25.
As you're kind of like searching around this very messy room, it seems to have been cleaned up by a spell you're quite familiar with in several areas to make a suitable camp for the night, using prestidigitation. Something catches your nose.
They left in a hurry. Oh, yeah.
The smell of... It's a very distinct smell. The smell of burning paper. You kind of like sift through and find a back room in Nick Knock's House of Wonders, where there is a brazier with a variety of burning pages inside.
Oh, I immediately use prestidigitation to dispel the fire. What is it? Extinguish the fire.
Yeah. So through, you find that you are able to pick apart a few of these entries. I'm also gonna put up on stream the map real fast, because you guys mentioned, you know, the obsidian wastes and the like, just so the stream knows what we're talking about. Okay, so there are a few entries that you're able to find, Jack, that you saved just from being burned out, and they are the recent entries. There are definitely some things missing between these 4, but you did roll really high, so, you know, congrats. So while he goes through those, Ember and Kelvin, you said that you were assisting with this. You do hear something like muffled.
Where's the
Like a muffled
sound coming?
shout. You kind of like step forward and feel something bow beneath your feet, and you're standing on a like a filthy rug.
Okay, we'll pull back the rug. Yeah.
It shows a trap door.
Quick thing while they're doing this, I'd like to step outside and
Okay.
just look around and watch and make sure no one's going to come up on this.
Make a
little house.
perception check.
This building belongs to that goblin, right?
Yep. Nick knock. Or were
14.
you asking me or just the party? Noted.
The
Ellis?
party.
Yeah, to the
I would not be surprised if this was trapped. But I want to check for that first.
Making another investigation check
I will help him.
with advantage.
20.
Ooh.
20. You kind of look around and you notice that there is definitely a mechanism that is triggered, and you manage to like take a blade and stick it down into the wedge between the floor and the trapdoor itself, and you hear a spring snap. And when you pull back the trapdoor, there is a crossbow with a bolt that is covered in some sort of like black liquid that you could assume to be not good to be covering a bolt tip.
Can I take the bolt
Yeah.
without triggering it? I'd like to offer that to Zark. Hey, Zark.
Eh.
You might like this bolt. I'm not sure what it does, but it looks nasty.
I take the bolt.
And then does this lead down into a ladder?
There is a ladder
I
leading
imagine.
down. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
All right, so you both have
Yeah.
dark vision. It leads down into what you see is a stone floor with deceived shells, but the muffled shout is definitely louder, and it's actually growing in number.
Growing in number?
Yeah, like you may have alarmed whatever was down there. It's
I'm going to cast invisibility on. Oh, let me make sure I still have a spell slot. Okay, I do. I think I'm going to cast invisibility on myself and go down there.
okay. So
And I'll
you're-
also stealth if that will help.
I'm gonna wait about 30 seconds after he goes down, and then I'm gonna produce flame and go down as well.
I'll follow Ember.
all right. So Kelvin, you jump down. Make a perception check.
This one I'm not as good at. Let's see. I got a 5.
Looking around, it's really hard to make out particular shapes in the shades of gray that you can see in the dark. But soon Ember jumps down with his flame in his hand, illumine the area, and you see that there are 5 shapes crouched. Their mouths are gagged and their hands and feet are bound. You notice it to be 3 dragonborn and 2 humanoids with dragon-like features on some parts of their body. And they are like, through the gags, are like trying to get your attention, and seeing that they now see you, they kind of stop and they're just like breathing heavily and sweating.
I just want to check for any other guards around here just to be sure.
Go off your perception now that you can see.
Okay. Then I would come out of invisibility and just be like, "Hey, we fought off the guys up there. We're here to set you free."
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 5 again. Somebody else.
He's definitely very hesitant, like kind of like scooching away from you. All they heard was a bunch of shouts, magic sounds, and now you guys jump down with flames in your hands and popping out of nowhere from invisibility. They're scared.
I'm gonna go over and start just untying one of them. I'll leave the flame just kind of hovering in the air above me.
Yeah, I'll help.
Do any of you know a dragon, saying this to the captives, do any of you know a dragonborn named Lumiscon? He's our friend.
He's a copper dragonborn.
The one that you untied, it's a blue dragonborn. Very long beard. That's just like the scales and the appendage that dragonborn has is a beard. Seems older in age. It's like Lumiscon. He was with us. He did take him, saying that he was kind of insurance. It was important. But the time that we spent with him, he ensured us that everything would be fine.
He's good at that.
When was the last time that you saw him?
Sometime during our travels, the caravan split off into 2 groups. We were brought here, and I don't know what happened to the rest. I got out of the carriage, and it was only half as many.
Do you guys think that they could have found out we were following them?
They just prepared for that.
It's very possible.
Well, where did you see the other group split off to?
I didn't. It was something that we heard. Just the thunderous roar of many horses and carriages suddenly became quieter and grew off in the distance.
Do you have any perception of how long you traveled after you split off?
About half of the afternoon, 4 or 5 hours.
Thinking
Okay.
back, about 4 or 5 hours ago, do we remember any crossroads or anything?
I mean, the road is the main road that leads to the city of Restoria. You have yet to cross the river. Nignock's tavern's kind of in a forested area right before the river crossing. Yeah, I mean, there's several roads that lead off and go off in different directions, but nothing really stood out to you, and which is odd. There's no like major tracks that split off, but you know, there are a lot of different people traveling in different directions, so tracks weren't really discerning in any way.
When you say the river, are you talking about the one we can see on the map?
Yeah, right directly south of Cataran. Yep.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're somewhere like
You're like right at the peninsula.
there.
Yeah. Yep.
We split off before the river. That's...
We are not at the river. They split off somewhere else.
Well, yeah, they hadn't gotten to the river yet.
Yeah. Can somebody hold on? I should probably look through the notes. So we heard that the Dragonborn were going somewhere, but found out that they weren't going there and going somewhere else, right?
Mhm.
Those two locations?
They claim to be going to Barazabul down near the bottom, but we found out they're actually going to Tyr's Dune, where there's a mental patient facility or someplace where they can do an asylum, someplace they can do secret research, apparently.
Is there could this be the party going to the front, the thing that they're saying, hey, here's our camp for these Dragonborn, versus sending all of them to Tyr's Dune?
Well, they left these ones behind, so I'd be inclined to think that these ones were the ones, less important to them.
Right.
Or they
Left in
simply
quite a bit
didn't.
of a hurry. And by that point, I'm just sort of I'll show up just sort of creepily behind you.
Oh, hello.
You found them. You found a bunch of them.
We did.
Yeah, they left in a bit of a hurry, so I could see they've missed a few. Good. Listen, she's been watching us for quite a while. It says so here. She's
you
familiar. And spies. Makes sense. Minister of Information and all that. Yeah, looks like I found a few, just a few writings from her. Well, at least I think it's her.
Any interesting information other than she's watching?
Yes. Yes. Well, she considers us quite a threat. She doesn't like us at all. She considers us a threat to her plans. She says that we seem to be doing something at the behest of a criminal overlord. Don't know if that's maybe exaggeration or maybe something that you know that I don't. Or maybe that's a reference to us. Who knows?
Professor.
Does she name the criminal overlord?
No, just a criminal overlord. Who knows?
Professor,
says here she's going to keep an eye on him. Sorry.
Professor, does your hut prevent sound inside from being heard outside?
I believe it does. Hold on. Let me check.
Liam, inside any hut, you cannot hear sound from the inside out.
Yeah, it always seemed pretty insulated.
Perhaps we should take... No, but perhaps we should take some precautions while we're speaking this freely.
Sure.
It might be a good...
Suffice it to say, there's a lot of interest in here, and we should discuss it as soon as we can. In the meantime, I'm glad you found survivors. Now we need to know where to send them. You alright? Can you walk? I'll say to one of the survivors.
The blue dragonborn stands up and goes, I'll be fine.
Do you have a safe place to hide for now?
Do you need any healing?
They didn't hurt us, just my back could do some stretching. I do have some family up north. I could go see if they have not been captured as well.
I heard that the elves over in the... I hear the elves in the Ialia forest may be welcoming of refugees. We passed a few on the way there.
That's where I'll take them.
It may not be the best idea, but we've met some enthusiastic individuals who seem to rather share a special passion for dragons. They may keep you safe, but I am not certain. What I do know is that there will be many others that may blame you for the recent problems with dragons.
Can't blame people for their fear.
Your captors, did they say anything to you?
What they fear what they don't understand.
Of course. Did your captors say anything to you, give you some idea about what they were up to? Did they mention any names, dragon names, colors, that kind of thing?
Not much.
Did they favor any one in particular? Any of the prisoners?
There was a woman traveling with us at first. She was strange. Very frayed white hair going in a variety of directions that was red at the end. Wore these large goggles and she gathered blood from many of us. And shortly after that's where we split off, and she wasn't with us when we got here.
DM, do we know what type of dragon Kargrath one was?
No.
I don't believe we do.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Did the name
Okay.
Kargrath Ren ever come up while you were traveling with them?
Not that I heard. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm sorry this happened to you.
Do any of you have
hopefully you
any
don't
food?
feel.
We haven't been
Food.
fed today.
Yes, we have.
Of course,
food.
I'll share 2 of my rations.
Thank you, lad.
How many are there?
5. 3 Dragonborn, 2 Dragonkin.
Yeah, I'll head it back to my. I'll share 3 more of my rations.
We'll sift through this place, see if we can find anything to defend ourselves with while we travel north. But we'll just stay here for the night in the stables.
Yes, it seems deserted for now. Although it's been the site of some violence, you may want to leave here as soon as you can. By all means, stay the night. But the minute someone comes by and sees the mess we left behind, they may start asking questions. We'll do our best to clean up, of course. But you will need to leave and stay quiet. Keep your head down.
Shortly after you guys finish up the conversation, the 5 freed prisoners kind of like, are untied, ungagged, like their wrists are, chafed from the ropes and the cuffs, and they head upstairs and grab what they can. One of them does find a knick-knock stick with pieces of glass glued to the end of it, and soon they set off into the woods in the middle of the night.
We should probably also be on our way. Maybe we should do something about these guys though first.
Bodies?
Yeah.
Yes.
I suppose we could also. I mean, I assume this isn't what you meant, but we could probably also search them for clues.
We could.
Yes.
I'm not expecting much to be on them, but we could, yes.
Just to be thorough. Any information we can gather will help.
Somebody had a question?
Yeah, yes. Is there, do either the bodies or do I see anywhere around me anything that might serve as an arcane focus or component pouch, anything like that?
Make an investigation check.
Sure. That'd be 14.
Searching through the bodies, it does take you a bit longer than you would like, but you do find a short wand about it's a walnut color, and it's like almost as if two branches grew winding around each other to the tip.
Okay.
You find something?
It is on one of the
Just
bodies
this.
of the dead mages that attacked you.
Yeah. Just this so far, a wand. They
Oh.
seemed quite versatile, sneaky, and magical. I'll suppose I'll tuck the wand away, but just keep searching. Like Ellen was saying, searching the bodies for anything else.
Going off the investigation check, you do manage to find a total about 326 gold. Make sure you're writing this down. So 326 gold, 524 silver, and about 1,011 copper.
Whoa.
They were quite
326
wealthy.
gold.
We stick that in the party funds.
Yeah, I'm typing it right now. 326
Uh,
gold, 500 something silver, and about 1,000 copper is what I heard.
Yeah, 1,011
5,000? 1,011, okay.
While he's doing that, can I like search around and try to get back some of my bolts back?
Yeah.
What was the silver amount? I just heard 500 something.
Say 530.
34, I think I said. That's why I said write this down because I don't.
534.
I was working
Yeah,
on it. I just okay.
So
Good.
Ember, the one thing you notice as you guys are looking around is that there are no spell books on these casters, which is odd to you because they were definitely practicing magics that were limited in the amount that they could. There is one.
Could I take an educated guess to see if they are sorcerers or if they're warlocks?
You can make an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana's plus. Okay. 23.
So a few of them are in fact sorcerers. The rest are wizards. You do find on one of them a scroll that contains the spell Cone of Cold.
Does anybody mind if I keep this?
No.
Don't you have to be able to use the spell to cast it anyway?
I think two of our party can learn this spell, I think. Other than me. I'll keep it then.
That's fine.
Ellis,
Any
by
sign
way,
of the
during your
cute-
watch, you did not notice anything, but Gari did come running to you out of the trees.
That's good. I love that. I was gonna go look for him in a quick second.
It would have probably not been too hard to find.
I
He's probably
disagree.
is he hurt?
He's really a good hider.
I mean,
Hiding.
we had a tough time finding him in the Feywilds.
You guys
That's true.
were so cool.
So
Thanks.
practicing on
Mr.
your magic ability.
Mr. Ember,
you
am
could
I
be
gonna
just
learn
like
how to do
us.
that?
When did Gary speak?
He's been speaking. He's 58 years old.
That was the first time I ever heard him speak. He's been a mute this whole time, I swear.
I'm gonna
He
send
definitely
Gary
has not been.
inside.
No.
So
I
you
gotta
can
swear, I've
go
never heard this man
the
speak.
Ember.
If you study very, very diligently, you can learn how to do that too.
Or you can sell your soul. One of the two.
Don't do
Up to you, though.
Tried
I'll
and
talk
true.
about that.
Not for you, Gari.
Don't you dare go to that dark side, ominous part of the woods.
That's me. I'm already there.
Yeah, I hear it's messy.
All right, so as you all
Oh,
kind
and-
of like search through everything, what are you gonna do? You wrap things up. Search.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Has
see.
Nick not
Never told
come
me what
back
kind of
yet?
check it was.
Can I search the place for hidden rooms? There's always one
Right,
hidden room
you-
with liquor in it.
So I'm gonna go in order that I heard it. Ember, what did you say? Did Sue come back yet?
Did Nick not come back yet?
No.
Nah, homeboy's gone.
Zark, what did you say?
He's a truck
I said I
stop.
wanted to look for bolts, but you never
Yeah, I said you
said. I
could.
said, okay. Oh,
Do it. Don't you like roll for that? You roll for it.
yeah.
The roll for it.
What's the roll?
Investigation always.
I want to look for something. I think that's a medicine check.
Is it me
No,
or
I
is
didn't know
Zark
if
very
it was an
quiet?
investigation or
he-
I
perception.
have
He's
him
a-
at 200%.
He's a little
and
he's a little quiet. And Jack, you have
Oh,
something
nice.
as well. You said DM. You get all your bolts back.
Oh no,
Zark.
yeah,
I don't know how many that was.
12.
yeah. I was gonna ask about the goblin again, but he's still not back. So.
All right, 12.
Zark, you have a full quiver.
Hey.
I would like to start moving the bodies inside.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to
Uh,
help him.
In addition,
Yeah.
I'd just like to be on top of the house
Okay.
and watch, and hopefully get better.
What is Sarah? Sarah, what'd you roll for an investigation?
I want to see if there's any like, in Prohibition era when they did hidden like cabinets and whatnot that they'd store alcohol in. I want to look for those.
Okay.
Goblin would probably have a secret liquor stash. That would make sense.
Damn.
No,
Those
you
are
do
no
not
weapons.
manage to find any hidden rooms. But you do find a room that Nick Knock was using with a bunch of papers piled up as his personal litter box. So
What? Interesting.
Ooh.
I think
Was
that's
it-
crystal clear.
Was it weird to anybody else that you guys said that spell book was his, and he's like, I don't know how to use this?
It was bought here. It was supposed to be a ruse. The ruse didn't work.
Yeah. Essentially,
So he's not really a.
he didn't know what it was, so I got it off him for a hand axe.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I've already learned all of those spells, so that book was just weighing me down.
Wait, do we still have that, or did we get rid of it?
I gave it to him.
You give it to Gary.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's excellent.
I thought we gave it back to Nick Knock.
No, Nick.
Yeah,
Knock's
but then he
gone.
ran off. I don't know if he has it or if he dropped it or
We
he
could look
has
for it. Oh,
he has it. All
he
right.
has it.
he'll probably try and
Um,
sell it again.
Well, whatever else we do, we should probably do it quickly. And I'm looking down at the bodies. Do we have any way of speaking with them? I can't, but I've seen people do it before. Can you do that?
I think like paladins and clerics can probably do that.
I think if anybody has a chance of being able to do that, it would be the one outside right now.
Yeah, Ellis said something about a soul cage.
Sure, there's. Just wondering if we should take a head.
Oh, just stuff the whole
I'd
bodies
rather
into the
not. That's
bag.
very brutal.
You can't
that-
keep it
It's gonna take up a lot of space.
in the bag. A
You
whole.
were pretty
Yeah.
brutal before that.
It would also be very hard to explain to anybody who happened to
Good point.
Yeah.
No, they were
I'm
hired
not
help
good
anyway.
though, so-
They were hired help anyway.
We can afford help.
They are very powerful hired help.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot of some fairly high level spells.
They're nearly as strong as me. They're stronger than I was when you met me.
Well,
I think
another
it's
reason to
clear
be
we need
wary.
allies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get out of here then. And I'm gonna use prestidigitation to clean up any blood I find along the way back. If I
Okay.
can find.
Not
Let's
the
see.
housekeeping.
When we put the bodies inside, I want to put them like. I don't want to just like pile them on top of each other. Like I want to spread them out. You know,
You want to
put
stage
them in.
it?
You want to
Yeah.
stage it?
Oh,
No, I want to put them like spread out, like
We gonna burn these type
basically
shit.
I
give
was
them the honors that they may or may not deserve.
Oh, that's
like a
awesome.
funeral pyre.
Not necessarily.
Or we can put their heads on sticks and put them in front of the building to ward off any other
Nice.
people.
Hi.
That's the exact opposite of what I wanted to do.
So I shouldn't be beheading them. Is what you're
Please
So
don't.
we're midway through cutting one of their heads. What?
What?
Oh, my bad. Let me just back
Let me
on.
just. Can I roll medicine to see if I can sew the head back on?
So Ember treats the fallen warriors with honor. And so you guys head out into the night. As you remount your horses or broom,
Cool.
what would you like to do?
Can I actually do something before we head out?
I'd like to lead us. We're already riding. Yeah.
We
So like
ride.
while everybody was handling stuff, Shadow would have liked to try to get into some privacy
Okay.
for like a moment. And you know, he knows that Elif's talked about contacting her patron before, right?
Yep.
So Shada's gonna try somehow. And yeah, I mean something he thinks would work was he's gonna try and use his blade that he summons to offer some of his blood.
Okay. So you sit down and you summon your blade and you cut your hand and some blood drips onto the blade. As it does so, it kind of like melds with the fresh blood that's always on the blade. And as you do that,
As he does that.
yeah,
You do that.
you do that.
You do that.
So you do go around the back of the shop and kind of in the woods a little bit.
Yeah.
And as this happens, you start hearing the sound of skittering. A variety of squeaks. And
Yeah, they-
soon you look around and you see all around you, their eyes kind of glowing red through the darkness. Tons of rats. Squeaking and like climbing on the trees and in the branches, little shadows moving into the night. And they, as the squeaking kind of grows and their claws are grating against the various elements of the forest, so then they all stop and just simultaneously turn to look at you. And all around you hear a whisper. Shada.
Gonna look around, just it's coming from all around, right?
You actually look around and you see that the voice seems to be coming from all of the rats simultaneously.
Right. Shada's gonna just say I promise I still plan to bring you your artifact. What happened here doesn't change that.
Do not lie to me, boy.
I'm not.
What you did here was very reckless.
I'm aware.
Perhaps such action deserves some sort of consequence.
Consequence?
Do you think that a pet such as yours could openly defy his master and suffer no punishment?
Of course not.
Have you checked on your mother lately?
I haven't been able to talk to her since we left for the Feywild.
I will warn you, boy. I will keep an agent very close to those you love. Defy me again, and you will see. To find yourself an orphan. Kind of amused with his own statement. Perhaps I'm being harsh to you.
I'm going to get you that artifact as soon as possible.
See that you do. Oh, and Shada.
Yes.
Do not disappoint me again. And with that, the hundreds of rats kind of skitter away and into the forest. And the sound of the night takes over again. You look down, as you stand up, you kind of, are always wary of your blade and see that your sword has no blade, just a hilt.
Bruh.
Which sword is it? Is it the Sunblade or the Dragon Slayer blade?
Dragon Slayer.
Okay.
That's not good.
We need that one.
Yeah, we do need that one. Well, this is weird. He's gonna try to unsummon it and resummon it again. See if that changes anything.
As you banish your blade into the pocket dimension of where it stays, you reach out to resummon it, and it does not appear.
Shit. That isn't good.
Shada, you coming?
Oh yeah, I'll be right there. Shada's gonna get up and follow.
Okay.
Gotta move.
Alright.
Okay, so
As you
no.
get on your horses and head out, where are you guys going?
Guys, I know we should get away from here, but it is late and I am very hurt. We need to find somewhere relatively close so we can take a rest.
Can we ride for an hour? Can you do that?
I can do that.
Let's ride for an hour.
We ride.
Follow the road, but if we can, we can get off into the trees, and if anyone else is going down the road, we'll try to find a place that we can hide.
And I want to tell Penny to keep an eye out for anybody that might be following us. Any animals that look like they're paying particular attention to us, and to report back if she sees anything out of place.
I'd like my hawk to fly ahead of us and just look for any sort of closed, like what's the opposite of a clearing? Like a densely packed brush that we could like hide in.
Go make perception checks for both of your creatures.
Okay.
I'm gonna have her stealth as well.
Hawks get advantage.
So she got a 12 in perception and a 20 in stealth.
13.
13. Okay, so Penny kind of flying around the area. Before you guys get to the river, there things that seem to be quite interesting. You do, Penny does manage to fly over a very large bear, these bone-like structures protruding out of its hide without catching its attention. But nothing seems to be particularly interested in you. As you all ride for the hour, you do find a nice forested area that you can set up camp if you so chose.
Okay. Seems concealed enough.
And I can change the dome's color from the outside, so we'll blend right in.
Penny-
Looks like a solid dome. It might cover it in some weeds too. Anyway, go on.
Penny didn't notice anything out of place. I don't know if we're still being observed.
At all times, we are being watched by the Minister of Information.
That's a fair and safe assumption, I think.
We'll have to keep the horses tied up just outside the dome. But if we just keep an eye on them, I think we'll be all right.
If you change the
stick
color
out.
from the outside of the dome, does it change how we look outside the dome, or can we still look outside the door normally?
What's
to,
that?
To you, it's like looking outside a window.
Okay. So it's like a one-sided mirror.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
it's not
Okay, cool.
reflective.
Nice. Well, I'm just saying, never mind.
Mhm. A one-way,
Oh.
yeah.
So I'm gonna just help out setting up camp.
Okay.
I would like to forage for some snacks, maybe berries, perhaps.
Okay, go and
before
make
bed.
a survival check, Sarah.
Hope they're poison.
I will have my owl or my hawk go with.
What's with my
Owl
rolls? Oh my gosh.
forage.
Oh,
So
so you've got a hawk coming with you.
you don't find any berries, but you do manage to, find some very nice rocks.
Okay.
And
Just regular
Ember,
nice.
what were you having your hawk doing?
I was having my hawk help Sarah.
Oh,
Huh?
So 23. Okay.
Hmm.
So with advantage since
Okay.
so
Okay.
23. So with the help of the hawk, you do manage to find a couple blackberry bushes. They're not the ripest thing in the world. You are in the middle of spring.
Damn.
There's also
I wanna
some medicinal roots that you find that you remember your father's picking in the forest. That could be useful in the future. About
Ooh. I look at the
4
roots.
portions of medicinal roots.
4 medicinal roots. You got it. Let me add that to my inventory.
While you're like collecting those, you notice the hawk swoop down and you hear a squeak as it comes up and back onto the tree branch with a chipmunk in its claws. Kind of
Which
like
one?
what?
What?
And it's like bites into the fur and like tears apart the
Never
sinew from its hide.
Who's a good hawk boy?
And soon enough, the bubble springs into existence, and you all have camp set up.
Hey,
I want to take my longbow and see if I can find anything out in the forest.
Everyone.
That thing in a while.
hey, Shada.
Yeah, what's up?
I had an idea that will help keep the party a little more protected. You have Smith's tools, right?
Yeah, of course. Keep them on me all the time.
Would you mind if I enchant your hammer to hold healing spells?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll be able to store cure wounds in there, and that should help.
Really quick, Salkos.
Yep.
Would Shada recognize the hammer as his father's hammer?
Given the memories he lost.
You gave him the memory of your father teaching you how to smith, not your father himself.
Okay, so he still knows that it's his father's hammer.
Yeah.
Right.
You gave him the memory of
I didn't know
your father
how deep it
teaching.
went.
Yeah, just teaching the skills of smithing. You know that you know how, but there's pressure. You know that you're missing those memories. It's like you try to think back on them, but it's just you can't pull up anything. And that's what bothers you, is the fact that you know he taught you.
But I don't remember what he did or when it happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna look at Kelvin. It's the father. This is the hammer my father gave me.
Oh. I can appreciate that. Well, my father didn't give me the smithing tools I have. I created those magically, but he's certainly taught me with some tools that in hindsight, I left at home, and that was maybe not the best plan. But I can understand that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine.
No, it's all fine. Having some extra healing might assist. You might help a lot.
And this will be a fair amount of healing. I'll be able to cast a healing spell 10 times.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And I mean, I guess it makes the most sense for you to have it. I'm not sure. But that was just something I was thinking about.
Hey, I could definitely ensure that I can get to people fast. So yeah, give me this. I'll do my best to use it when necessary.
Okay. I'll have it ready for you in the morning.
All right.
Jack, you were saying something before their conversation.
Yeah, I was going to address the group.
Oh.
I think it's become clear that our enemy has resources we don't. Politics, spies, secrets, the law. So what that tells me is we need allies, and maybe we have them in the right places and all that. But we don't have them right now. Until we secure that kind of help, what happened tonight is going to keep happening. So I think if we're going to make it through all this alive, we have to keep our heads down from here on and watch who we're talking to and how.
How long after the dome popped into existence are you saying all this? Because
are you starting to fall asleep? Yeah.
Amber's going to sleep immediately after he's done casting the spell.
Damn, you tired.
In that case, he's already nodding off. But
yeah.
He's what?
I'm saying this a lot. I'm saying this to the group, so if I'm noticing Ember falling asleep, I'm saying it. But
yeah,
whether he hears it or not.
Yes.
The fact is,
allies. Yes.
Professor, you, I imagine, have some pull at the college you mentioned?
Yeah, indeed.
That might be worth investigating. And what about that lord that spoke to us rather cryptically?
Lord Lightvine?
It sounds like he couldn't help us directly, but he did set up the horses for us, perhaps.
He's already helping us. I'm not talking about, he's certainly been a boon so far, and I think we only got to this far because we have friends like Lord Lightvine. I mean someone in government, someone who could actually be a conceivable threat to Lenore Valine, someone who could take over for her if we depose her, or someone who might have a grudge against her, someone who might be able to lend us some kind of, I don't know, power, credence, authority, whatever it is. If you want to argue a case, in a trial, then that's someone we'd need in our corner. If we don't have that, then we can't go down that route at all. We don't have that available to us. Look, this note, these scraps of paper that I found, they're from her journal. She talks about imprisoning the Emperor.
What?
She has Emperor Vale locked up in his room right now.
He's
That's how high up this goes.
Well,
He's fairly young, isn't he?
hello.
I heard he was like a child or something.
Yes.
11 or 12, I believe.
Bull
You were
and
saying-
Frail. Bull and Frail
Yes.
is in our corner. And unfortunately, so is Veldrich Grimbor.
I don't think he's very far away from this. He's mentioned here too. Here, I'll read this section out. I met with a talented doctor in Tirisdune. My methods are questionable, but one cannot deny the quality of results. I have spoken with Minister Grimbor, and he agrees. She will be useful in the plans to deal with the threat that is to come. So that's interesting to me. So as far as they're concerned, they're doing the right thing here. They're doing what is needed to take care of a threat that they perceive. Likely it's the dragons. What else could it be?
Do you remember in the little snippet about the dragons that we all read together, there was someone mentioned in there. His name was Tyron. Do you guys remember him?
He's an apprentice to that group that
What?
failed. He was the only survivor.
That wasn't he?
Wasn't
So,
this
I don't know.
wasn't this battle in like the first age or something?
yeah, but my idea, I mean, it said that he was the only survivor. And I imagine that an incident like that would leave a mark. And I imagine what other marks he left. Did he leave groups? Did he leave his own
Elf
apprentices through the ages? Descendants, yes. Like, I wonder if
That's a good point.
there's someone that has that connection to him that we could convince to help us.
Hmm.
But
True.
another thing too is Lord Lightvine did tell us that under Restoria, I believe, there's a very large database of information. Not quite sure if it's a library or what, but if we could access that area, we might get more clues and whatnot.
They're
You know
for
what else?
Someone who can awaken an artifact. Yes?
Sorry, this is different, but also something that we need to find out. I was thinking that if we can find any information about teleport circles that may exist, perhaps we can find a way to get to where Elith and Shada need to be and back again more quickly.
Yes. Someone north, Latrina, Tywern, Manaria, anywhere like that.
Because we have several places we need to be.
There's
Yes.
that is on my to-do list when we get to Restoria.
Okay.
Teleportation circles, information about certain princes of hell, information about any and all dragons. The library will be my home for a week, I assume, at least.
I'll be there as well. Besides.
What do you think about detouring through Tirisdune on the way there? I mean, they're taking the dragon board there. It's on the way. In a way. It would be maybe a day or so journey south, east. But the road will probably fork.
That's true.
I'm not,
My main concern with having confronted them this first time is that we are clearly at a disadvantage with a lack of information.
we are also clearly unwanted and also
there doesn't seem to be any reasoning with them either.
No, there's no reasoning at this point. Not with them.
We also have Gari. But if
That is true.
a small contingency of us wanted to go to Terrastone, I would not be opposed. But I will not be joining said contingency.
I do believe we should go to Restoria first, only because we do have so many things that we need to tackle together. And I'm worried that if we stop by Terrastone and we split, a party of us is going to get that information, and the other party, who knows what they're walking into, right? We haven't been here in a little bit. We have no idea if they've got active, who knows what. So I'm a little concerned, but
I feel like we're not quite prepared.
I still need to get.
That's fair. I guess I should tell you that there is probably not much time before something awful happens to your friend. And I understand.
He seems like a good man.
He is.
Yeah.
Dragon born.
what's gonna happen?
Well, whatever it is, they're getting at their life essence, experimenting. I mean, just here, the notes even mention that her methods are questionable. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that whatever it is, it gives even her pause. And if that's the case, it must be awful.
So, are you suggesting, and you can tell me if I'm misinterpreting this, that a group of us goes to Astoria as planned, and then another group of us goes on a mission to save Luna Sky?
Also gather intel.
Because that's I don't know. I mean, he's the one that matters the most to us. And if we can secure his safety, we will buy ourselves more time. So I definitely see where you're coming from.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have to tell you something.
What's up?
So,
Back at the shack back there, I did contact Eldritch, and
you figured out a way.
he spoke to me while we fought, and asked me what I was doing. I've made him upset, and the thing I worked so very hard to make, my blade, has been taken by him.
Which one?
The one that would help us against the dragons.
the big one.
Oh.
Yeah. But that is the least of my worries compared to what he threatened to do if I keep defying him. He threatened my mother's life. I don't know how much I want to do before I can get that artifact to him.
So you should be getting to Restoria.
I should be getting...
You
For the
should be
teleporter
going
portal.
north.
Yeah.
If we're still sticking with the teleporter idea, and I have no idea how teleporters work, so you can correct me, but doesn't it have to have an anchor?
It has to have a circle. There has to
That's
be.
what I'm saying.
There has to be a circle.
So if you set up a circle,
Well, there has to be a circle at the location we're headed to.
Yeah.
And for that circle to be set up, it has to be cast every day there for a year. And it's not a low-level spell. You can't just find a.
So,
You can't
somewhere
find a
with
guard.
dedicated magic uses.
They're very
Yeah, and your
deliberately
school
created,
would your
and
school
they
have
do
something
exist.
like
The school, yes.
I wonder if Minaria would have something like that.
Somebody said something about your tavern having one.
It does, yes. Further north, I don't know. I'd have to find out when I got to Restoria.
Well, all right. I'm in favor of us heading straight to Restoria from here, and then perhaps on the way we'll find out more. Perhaps we'll even find a way to get straight to Terrastune from there, or straight up to the bog and then back to Terrastune.
Point of information, because I don't know if everybody caught it, but Zark did state that he was going to go out hunting while you guys were setting up camp. While this conversation is actually happening, Zark, I need you to make 2 checks, perception and survival, please.
Roll it.
Damn, I missed out. I should have gone. I should have gone hunting with Zark.
20 and 20.
All right, so
Damn.
as you are out hunting, you're like kind of like creeping low into like bushes, keeping your aura concealed from any nature or like creature that may sense your presence. And just as you are knocking an arrow on your longbow, as you this doe comes into view, you pull the drawstring back. You start hearing dum 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 dum, like kind of walking down this like path, and it's like a very old looking man covered in these wearing these white stained robes. He holds a birch staff with a blue gemstone that's kind of like flickering at the end, and it's kind of like shuffling his way through the woods, and the doe like catches sight of him and takes off right before you're about to release.
Damn. Zark can't hit anything, huh?
Really not. If I'm on lonesome out here, I don't want to. Usually when I'm by my lonesome, I end up almost dying.
Go make friends.
You're very quiet, by the way.
Oh, am I?
Sorry, spirit. Go make friends.
Is that better?
Better, thank you.
Okay. Well, I guess really the only thing I can do is, I guess, make myself known to him and see what he's doing out here by himself.
So as you kind of like come out of the bushes, what do you say?
I go, you there, old man.
He fires a fireball at you very wildly, by the way.
Oh God! See, this is why.
That is a natural one, and it just like fizzes and like it's more like a spark. And he goes, my mistake, lad. Please do not think I mean any harm. You just startled me in the woods at night. I'm not what I used to be. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Elviron Creekep. Perhaps you've heard of me. I was an accomplished magic caster of my time. Could I offer you some nice tea?
Sure, I guess.
He snaps his fingers and the teacup just very nice porcelain appears in your hand with a saucer in the other hand. Your bow is somehow already on your back. He's like, sorry, I'm not quite good at baked goods, so the tea will have to do for the time being. Why are you out near the lake so late to the night, if I may ask?
I was in the trees nearby, just going on a little hunting trip.
Do you spend much time in the trees?
Off and on.
I see. Well, perhaps you could take an old man to his home. I live just further up in the wood.
I suppose I could.
Very well. He like kind of like heavily leans on the staff, and you notice as he's like shuffling his feet, he's like levitating above the ground. The rate that his feet are moving, he should not be moving with the pace that he is. And you kind of like escort him through the woods, and soon you come to, out of nowhere, this gray stone wall that you should have seen coming, but you didn't. The stones are cracked. There's vines kind of like creeping their way in to the cracks and like making them quite worse. And it is very dilapidated, but stands about 4 stories tall, and it's cylindrical in shape.
So like basically a stone tower.
It is a stone tower.
Yeah. Is this
Miss
the
is enjoying
place?
her toy.
Would you like to come in? I had some nice porridge heating up over the fire.
Well, I wouldn't want to intrude, and I'm getting kind of late. I should probably start heading back.
Oh, be safe. And if you change your mind, I'll keep the pot hot. A young lad like you should not go hungry in the woods late at night. Kind of takes out this nasty handkerchief and just like blows into it, and folds it back up. You kind of hear a sloshing sound as he does, like sticks it back into his pocket. Anyway, perhaps I could provide you some help to find your way back. He like taps your longbow and just light springs from it. Well,
Thank you, kind sir.
that should last you a little bit, but
This guy's rocking.
and I forgot, I did not introduce myself. My name is Elviron Creecap. Perhaps you've heard of me. I am quite an accomplished sorcerer in my time.
While I am certain that you are an achieved sorcerer of your time, I do have to apologize, but my knowledge of sorceries is kind of lacking.
I would have guessed you had a little bit more knowledge. I see that you have enchanted your weapon there with light. It's quite impressive. Anyway, I have to go. I am cooking a hog over the fire. Far too busy. He just slams the door in your face.
Okay. You know what? Before I turn around to leave, I kind of turn around to like start heading back. I look back at the tower, and I want to take an arrow out and I want to stick it in the side of the tower. Just a little note to myself.
I'm gonna mark the tower.
Yeah, I mean, you managed to find a crack quite easily. It is an old tower, but you stick the arrow into the stone, and that's
Find
it.
a crack and stick it in.
Never a dull moment with you, Sarah. And you begin to make your way back to the camp.
All right.
Just as the party is finishing up their conversation that they were having. As you guys finish the words that we last left off on, Zark comes back into view in the clearing.
Is that Zark in the clearing?
Yes, it is I, Zark, in the clearing.
You can't.
How's the hunt? Where's the food? I'm starving. I've been hyping you up to the whole group here on the big piece of juicy meat you brought us. Go ahead. Where is it?
About that, something.
Don't tell me you missed.
I didn't miss. I was gonna shoot something, but some old man scared off the deer I was aiming for.
He made
Sure,
himself
an
known
old
to you
man
guys,
in
by the way,
forest.
because his back was glowing with light. His bow had the light spell cast on it, so.
I thought you meant the old man. I'm like, what?
You know, Zark does not know how to cast this spell. So.
Zark.
He put a light on my bow to help me guide my way back here.
Wait, what was his name?
It's because you're a human. You can't see in the dark, huh?
Yeah, basically. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
You know what? I believe
help.
you.
What'd you say his name was? So I can tell them.
His name was
Googly McGoogly.
Elviron Creekip.
There we go.
Is that with an
That's-
E?
Elviron Creekip.
He
Like
seemed-
Elvira.
He seemed somewhat of an achieved sorcerer, as per his
You
words.
seem friendly?
I mean, he's
Friendly,
alive, so I'm assuming he's friendly.
He seemed
Is
pretty.
he,
Didn't really. He would seem to forget things after 5 seconds, but you know, that's how.
My
well,
peepaw
do you live
had
nearby?
that.
Does he live nearby?
Yeah, actually, he does. He lives just right up in the forest up here where I was hunting at.
We could go around, say hello.
Maybe tomorrow, when it's daytime.
Yeah.
I say as I curl up. I'm like, call me when it's my watch. And then I
Just
just
probably want to bring the
pass
professor over there.
Speaking of watches,
I don't want to say loud enough.
Yeah.
Oh, he did also mention something about roasting a hog. So.
and then I head up. Did he say roasting a hog?
Moving the
Yeah,
story.
I- You said did he okay, like roasting a hog in the fire, or was
Well-
he gonna hog by the fire?
Well, first he said he was making some porridge, and then just before he went inside, he said he had a hog on the roast. So
Hmm.
I don't even know anymore.
My stomach gurgles, and I'm fighting
Well-
between eating something or going to bed.
we should have.
Ember
stuffed the
has to stay in the hut if it's gonna stay active.
Ember's passed out. Look at him.
Let's
draw
stay
his
the
face.
night. Let's stay the night. We don't know if this guy really does pose a threat or not. How about we stay the night, recover our strength, go around there tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Good idea.
All right. Who's up for
Um,
watches with me?
I'll
Yes,
take
can
first
I get
watch
a watch order,
because
please?
during my first watch, I want to help Gari study his spell book. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but we're going to try.
Cool.
Actually, he doesn't even have that, so I'm just going to have him read things. I'm going to help him.
See, now y'all got me thinking about meat. So I'm gonna stay up until I get tired again. So I'm gonna be up with first watch with Ella.
So Elf and Sar and Gari, who's taking second watch?
Cool. I'll take second watch.
Jack
Um,
and or
I'll
Jack by
do
himself?
it with
I-
Jack.
All right, Jack and
yeah,
Shauna.
okay.
Who's taking last watch?
I'll take last watch.
Then I'll help him.
Okay. All right. So as everybody else drifts off to sleep, Elif and Sarah.
Well, before I go to sleep, I just make a note or I just say to Elith, by the way, I still have in mind that, some way to help keep Gari safe. When we get a chance, if we can purchase a diamond, then we'll cast a warding glyph that can keep them safe.
Purchase. Is that set in stone or just
Oh,
acquire it? 'Cause I can do either.
Just
Don't answer that. I'll figure it
okay.
out.
Okay. But yeah, just so you know.
Thank you.
Good night.
So, not Zarg, Sarah and Elif, you can both make a perception check individually, or one of you with advantage.
I think you have better perception than I do, Sarah. Mine's only a +2.
Okay. 22.
22. All right. So as Elif and Gari kind of like nestle back into the section of the bubble, reading through some books, and other scripts pertaining to magic and just history in general. Sorry, you kind of like, you sit outside or inside the bubble?
I'll sit outside the bubble, watch the horses.
Another thing while we're doing this is that I haven't really been using it. But my bag of bones, left hand bones, should be my talisman.
Mhm.
from my patron. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my bag of bones to Gari so that he can utilize that.
Okay.
I also want to give him the silk handkerchief that we have with the embroidered tree design that resembles the Fae.
Okay.
So he'll love that.
So, as everybody else falls asleep, and Elif and Sar kind of take watch. Elif like half looking up. Sar, you begin to hear a sound of a horse, and despite you being in the wooded area, it sounds like hooves on stone.
On cobble, what the fuck?
Then you hear it another set, and then another set. And as these hoof sounds begin to grow,
I have to
you
prepare
begin
an
to
arrow.
hear you prepare an arrow. Okay. You begin to hear the sound of groaning and tortured sounds of a variety of things. And as the sound of the hooves on cobble crescendos, so does the sound of the groaning and the tortured souls of the undead. You've heard these before in the city of Crossroads, Leo. And as it continues to grow and build, it just ceases at once from this course that only you and Ella seem to be able to hear, to nothing. Coming into view into the clearing with this overgrown part of the forest are 3-4 figures dressed in black.
Uh-oh.
Their faces obscured. You only see the silhouettes of them.
Yikes. Can I get into investigation real quick? Leave Gari at the back of the bubble. I'm gonna come to the front of the bubble with Sarah and wait. I don't want to.
I'm like, hey, bestie, how are you? My knees are wobbling.
That sound was very familiar to me.
I'm surprised you heard it from inside the bubble.
You can hear everything inside the bubble.
I'm sorry, I thought you were asleep.
Regardless, though.
Should we call out?
There is no
I'm gonna.
Oh, they hear us.
The one in the
gonna-
middle with the other two standing behind them kind of dismount their horses and they step forward. We only seek the keystone.
The keystone. Let me rummage through my bag. Let's see. I got an acorn, a jasper. No keystone here. Sorry.
I'm just gonna get on one knee and put my head down.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Do not deceive us. We sense it. It is with you, elf.
With me? I don't have anything on
The
me.
stone.
The stone?
The stone.
Alright, I start pulling out every single stone that I have in my backpack.
Gosh, I'm struggling to think of it. I don't have any keystone.
This one, the jasper, and then I have an opal,
No,
and then
it's not that.
I have a green gem.
I don't have
As
the
you
keystone.
pull the green gem, the
Oh,
faintly
shit!
glowing green gem, the one in the center holds out its hand, and you notice that it's rotten and bone. It's like, present the stone, we will leave you alive.
Elif. Hey, can they hear me if I whisper to Elif?
I mean, you can try.
Okay, I want to whisper to Elif. I'm like, Elif, I don't know about this. This was part of a side quest, remember? How we, like, put the... Oh, shit. It was where we first encountered these zombie thingies. And we put a white stone in. There was a white stone, a green stone, a blue stone, and I think a yellow stone. And we put the white stone in, and it activated something. And I found this green stone. I'm like, hey, maybe it's the same thing. We should go back. And no one paid attention to me. But now we're here. And now I think they want it. I don't know if they're trying to activate it, or I don't know if they're trying to stop us from activating it. Thoughts? Should we hide in the bubble?
I think we should give it to them.
Okay. I go up with caution, and I grab the stone, and I give it to them ever so slightly, and then I back away like 2 feet.
As you step close enough to present the stone into his hand, you kind of look up into the slit of the eyes in the helmet, and you see these 2 white orbs of a dead man's eyes with gray blue skin around it, kind of like falling off and like swollen in some parts from a variety of rot. Without saying a word, they turn around, their tattered cloaks kind of waving in the breeze, and they board their horses and turn around and fade into the darkness.
Or different fucking campaign.
I don't think we should have given it to them, but I also didn't want to die because I don't have any health because I haven't slept.
And my patron wrote, I cannot discern. So for the betterment of my mental health and the betterment of our team's health. Oh my
We need to
God.
focus on something else, I guess.
Hold
This is
on a
gonna come
second.
up later after
What
the
was
dragons.
that? Okay, what was that?
Okay, so that gem was to. Okay, listen. When I went to the library, I want to go research specifically about this gem because I want to know what it was because I've been carrying it and it's always been glowing. And sometimes it's hard to like when I open my backpack, it blinds me. And I'm like, huh?
Are they gone?
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Oh, now I feel
Yeah.
like we shouldn't have done it.
Well, we can chase them. Well, I mean, they were dead, so if
How
anything. But well, like, because the gem is believed to be for the ruins in the Fedoran Swamp, where the white gem has already been placed. And like I said, there's 4 gems: the blue, yellow, red, and the white.
Okay, so let's focus on the
Finding the other
two,
gems.
and we'll go from there.
That's at this time.
Point of information, it was blue, red, white, and green.
Blue,
I know
red,
what that was.
blue, red, white, blue, red, white, and green. Okay.
Well, you'll have the opportunity to tell us in the morning, and then be very upset with us. But for now,
You know, your character knows, or Denton knows who's dead.
What? No, me, Kelvin knows.
Oh shit! I never asked Calvin about the stone because he was a new
Well,
addition.
Well, he would know now based on
Well,
what
fuck
happened.
me, man. I already gave him a stone.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We have other important things to focus on. We can chase the dead.
But what if this could have like helped us defeat that one thing? Aren't we heading in that direction anyways?
Look, I have an artifact that I need to get that will help us immensely more
Guess.
than that one. So we have resources, we just need to get them. After that, I would like to go in and record everything that I just experienced in my little journal, because I'm finna ask some questions. We're gonna pray. We're gonna seek answers.
Gonna
Probably won't get a
pray.
response.
maybe you can count me out of the praying part. But
You wanna go in? You're gonna love it.
You were gonna pray about it. You were gonna like it.
Man. Well, shit. Okay, I'd like to go back towards the direction of the bubble, but with caution, because I don't know if anyone else is watching us.
From your perception, you don't see anything.
All right, cool. I kind of wanted to Homer Simpson grab the gem and then just merge into the bubble as he said that. But then I'm like, I don't know, what should I do?
You gotta trust your instincts. Do not trust my instincts around dead people.
Maybe next time I'll just do the opposite of what you say.
Note to self: necrotic energy equals bad decisions for Elith.
All right, maybe. All right, I'll note that, Elith. I'll note that. Don't listen to Elith when it comes to undead stuff. All right. Well, I suggest I'm going to bed. I don't know about you. I'm gonna start waking up the next person because, like, I need to Hopefully my dreams aren't freaky deaky tonight and I can have a normal sleep.
I hope I didn't answer my dreams. I'm the opposite.
All right, well.
So as your watch ends, it's now time for the next watch.
Let's wake up Jack. I believe Jack was second,
Jack
right?
and Shada.
Oh, okay.
Good morning. Evening.
Evening. Everything okay so far?
Yes. So we had a couple visitors during the night. I don't believe they will come back. It was 3 men on horseback. Very familiar. They were rotting. They were the dead.
What?
Sarah, would you like to share our decision, or would you like me to?
I mean, I guess. Well, y'all remember, and by y'all, wait, who are we waking up? We're waking up.
Jack and Shada.
They don't know anything about this gem.
Okay, well, basically, long story short,
Okay, so
they asked for a crystal, and we gave them the crystal, and I did not believe that the crystal had much importance.
are any of y'all familiar with the Fedoran Swamp?
No.
Okay, well, before you guys, and we had our other friends, and Zark was there too, so he might remember, but he's asleep. Look at him sleep. I pans over to Zark, sucking his thumb in the fetal position. I'm like, oh, isn't he sweet? And then back to us. Well, basically, like, you know, we did this like little side quest because we needed to gain the trust of the people. And so we had to defeat these zombies that were overrunning this city. And we found the source of it. We defeated the main guy, and in there we found a little side thing. The guy, like, I'm pretty sure he dropped the white gem. And there's these 4 gems that are like places where you can put him, right? I ended up finding the green gem somewhere else, right? And so there's 2 gems that need to be that are left to put in there to activate something that I have no idea what it does, but I wanted to activate it.
Well,
so I had someone go to the library to read it for me because I don't know how to read. Like,
Sarah,
yes.
do you think that this will affect our current situation?
Maybe not, but also at the same time, it doesn't help that it was just kind of like a wrench was thrown out of nowhere, out of left field. Like, oh, remember this one thing you guys did? Let me bring it back while you guys are already stressing about something else.
I just think that
Who would
we
do
need
such a
to
Who would do such a thing? Stares at camera.
overrise in our back brain.
All I know is that 2 gems are left to activate this ruin, and I don't know if they were for the activation of it or against it. And so if we wanted to stop it, just along the way, you know, not make it a main quest, maybe a side quest, we'd have to find the blue gem and the red gem.
All right, let's put a pin in that for now.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to it later when.
Anyways, if they
We
come
have
back
more time.
saying that they need it,
We
there's
already
the-
gave them. We already gave them.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
I go to a corner of the bubble. There's not really a corner. I go to the edge of a bubble, and I spin around 3 times, and I just lay down.
I let this just gonna lay like a corpse. With her.
Nosferatu, like a corpse NCIS, like is your leg up here?
Are you gonna draw the chalk outline
It's gonna be,
first?
you're gonna do the Family Guy thing of
Yeah.
Okay,
Family Guy
so
death.
Okay.
Jack and
Yeah.
Shada, it's now your.
Yeah.
Who's got a
Alright.
better perception?
Oh, I'm not bad, I suppose. All things considered. No, I'm gonna just kind of sit there preoccupied. Dark Riders with the dead. Sounds like a dream
Yeah.
I had.
Dead horses. Oh, I'm sorry.
What the hell?
Go back to sleep.
I'm gonna be honest, I got too much on my mind right now to even intake that. He's gonna have to repeat it to me later.
Yeah.
I'll make puppets next time.
What the hell?
Counts.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are there socks in this world?
Okay.
Or what?
Nothing.
Wait on that perception check.
Yeah. I went on that perception check. I got a 15 myself. Shadow's probably looking at 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were right there. Did you talk to your
Um,
master? That didn't sound very good.
Well,
Took
I'm not.
something from you, huh?
He took something from me, which is pretty important to me, but he's threatening to take something even more important from me. I got too much on the line to make
Your mother.
any more mistakes. Yeah, my mother.
My mom.
Your mom?
All right.
That's your mom, do you?
That's it. The stream's over. We're done.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I said I confirmed yes. Sword's one thing, but when it's somebody who raised you, just, 2 people who've been in my life, like, forever, their lives are on the line. I'm not happy with this at all.
What happened to your father?
My father, well, there was trouble in Thorm, and sent me a letter telling me not to bother, didn't want me to worry about it, but, I went anyway because I want to look out for my family and my country. But it turned out, long run, that he was the one causing the problems because of ancient information, and I believe he did have a good cause, but I couldn't agree with the way he was doing it. So we as a nation decided to petrify him and lock him in Thorm's vault.
Okay. Suffice it to say, you wouldn't want to lose your other parent.
Neither
Where's
would
she
I
now?
want to lose someone who's much like a close relative to me, Lumiscan. But his life
No.
seems much more at stake than my mother's, even.
Yeah. Do you know where she is?
Well, last I checked, still at my home in Thorm.
Suppose we should, as soon as we can, find a way to reach out to her.
All I would need to do is write a letter and have it mailed to her, I assume. Or if we could have somebody message her, use a sending spell. I would like to make sure she's okay.
So how does one kill someone like your master? I mean, he sounds fairly untouchable.
I wish I could tell you. But I have no idea. And I'm sure there would be some consequence if I had any idea. But I guess for now we head to Restoria and figure out, after we deal with whatever we have to do there, how to get to the bog up north. I want to be free from these chains as soon as possible.
Well, maybe Maybe by taking away that sword of yours, he's already done the first part of it. I mean, let's face it, you were depending on him, right? So he's taken away one way in which you were bound to him. A dependency. Wasn't the only sword you have.
It wasn't, but it was a very important sword nonetheless. It being, I might have left out the part. That sword was what made me become a Copperstone. Before that, I was not even considered part of my family's clan.
Hmm.
So it's symbolic.
I see.
But and
Imbued
also
with his power.
Imbued with his power, just so I can keep it concealed. Other than that, it was a sword made from the bones of a dragon that we could have definitely used in what seems like the very close future.
A useful tool, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's few amongst your clan who would reject you anyway, Shadow, if you showed up without that sword.
I've already been initiated, and considering I am the head of the clan, I doubt they'd reject me right away.
Exactly. Swords can be reforged. New ones can be made.
That is true.
I find it interesting to fall in with at least two people so far as I know, who borrow power from powerful friends. There's Elith, and there's you.
It has to be my biggest mistake.
Perhaps you were in need.
I was desperate for approval from my family, from my father. I didn't want to be the outcast that was, even though I was adopted by somebody so powerful, I was treated like dirt by people outside. Because I didn't share my family's name.
But you earned their respect in the end. And it was just you, wasn't it?
Well,
On the
I
virtue
did
of your strength.
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without some of the folks that we see here. Elith, Sarah, Professor.
Got it.
But
So, you free yourself from your powerful friend. What next? You find a new one?
I pray to my God to see what he can do for me. He told me that freeing myself from his grasp would be my next step in my journey for the path I want to take. As far as I'm concerned, that's what all my chips are on.
I think it's a noble idea. I hope he listens. I've never had much luck with gods myself.
All right. As you guys end your watch, you do see a little bit of daylight creeping as it goes into the early morning of dawn.
Oh, okay.
It's now time to wake Sark and Kelvin.
Okay.
Shada's gonna wake Zark.
Um,
So
I'm
Shada,
going to, yeah.
Shada wakes up Zark and Jack.
Hey, Zark.
Yeah.
Sarah was speaking about some something had to do with green gem that from some Fedorn. I don't know much about it, but he said you would know. Gave it to some people that came while we were asleep. That's all I could really tell you. Kind of went in one ear and right out the other for me.
What do I remember about it?
So, as you were traveling to the Elderwood to investigate what was going on there, by request of the druids, you came upon the ruins and swamp for a second time. It was the first time you skipped over it when you were investigating the missing children in Fedorn. In this ruin, you, Sarah, Elith, Flint, Reven, and Denton split off into the two separate rooms. When Sarah plucked the white stone from the altar, it released a wraith and also adamantine warriors, helm horrors, from rest. And then once you guys defeat them, Sarah placed the stone into the white outer circle of the large spell circle, and it sunk into the ground and began to glow. When you cut down the Drider that Naricia Trick, the high priestess of Bashaba, hung as punishment for her almost losing to Reven, she had a stone that she gave to Sarah that was the green stone upon her last breath. And he's had it with him since. And did more research with it in Cataran, but that was after you had left and before you rejoined.
Am I still sleeping?
I'm updating. I noticed that the ruin wasn't updated on the thing, so I added that just now. So
I'll
you
just
can
work out
read
calendar.
what he just said.
Okay.
In case everyone's like, what did he say?
So
That's the only thing I remember.
Kellen,
That's the
also
only thing I
you
remember.
wake- Jack wakes you up as Zark and Sean are talking about that.
Okay. Time for our shift.
That's well. Yes.
Yeah.
Right and early.
It looks like things went pretty smoothly.
Good enough. Good luck.
So you said I woke up during their conversation.
Yep.
How much did I hear? All of it, or
Basically.
okay? Oh, okay.
What was the lady's name? Who gave it to me again? I forgot.
It was a Drider that you did not know the name of, but she was a captain under Naricia Trick, the high priestess of Bashaba, who's now dead. You guys killed her.
What kind of people showed up in the middle of the night looking for a gem that has randomly been with Sarah for how long?
About probably 2 years.
In party
maybe 3.
time or Mortal Realm time?
I don't know. I'm asking that in character to
Oh.
whoever's. Just some people showed up and wanted the gem.
I'm sorry.
Dark
I'm
riders
so-
smelled like the dead.
That's really weird.
Am I awake right now?
Yeah.
You should be.
Oh, look, you're asleep over in the corner right now, right?
Yeah, I was really in
It's a
that deep
third
sleep.
watch.
Yeah, the 3 undead horsemen, we will call them.
Are we all awake now?
This is the last watch.
Also, the name, which I think is a great name. I'm pretty sure Midnight Jack gave the name for them, is the Midnight Riders. I think that's amazing.
That's really good.
I've been writing that as reference for what they're called now until we figure out the real names.
Okay.
Nice.
But
Midnight Riders.
Okay.
they came asking for the keystone. I thought they were asking for something different. I thought
Well-
they were asking for something that I don't have yet. But
Oh, wait.
That's a mystery tool for later.
yeah.
You said keystone?
Mystery tool. You
That's what she-
later.
That's what she called it. I wake up now because I don't need that much sleep.
And Sarah was going through different crystals, a white one, red one, and he held up this green one, glowing green, and that's the one he wanted.
What did the riders look like?
They look dead.
like knights,
It,
almost.
they're horses. They were black. Did they have this is gonna sound strange, but did they have fiery manes?
No,
No.
They did.
they
Did
did.
they?
They did.
Did they? Did any of you see their eyes? Did it look white? White.
I did. I saw
Pale
their
white
eyes.
eyes.
I saw their eyes. It was through their helmet like this, and so I'm like I didn't mean it. I was just trying to give it to them, and then some mysterious force said that I looked into their eyes when I never said that. So I guess I looked into their eyes.
I'm standing and just start pacing. I had a
You guys-
dream a few nights ago in which I saw riders like that in Ceraville.
You're lying to me.
Did you
You're
tell us?
pulling my
that?
leg.
Did you tell us? Because I do not remember us.
I don't
No.
remember this either.
No, I'm telling you now.
Just a
Were
good-
Were they good people in your dream?
Just a good side note for everybody who's awake. If y'all have dreams, please do share them with me.
Unless they
Okay.
are sexual.
Because I mean, unless they're really personal, like I had a really personal dream last night that I'm not gonna share with y'all.
That's
But just yeah.
I thought it was a
Okay.
nightmare when I saw it. I
I-
didn't. Well, now I know that it was something more.
Did
Clearly,
they
there's something
give
to
you
it.
a bad aura? Because I kind of gave them the stone.
Oh,
I
I
saw-
also have something important.
What?
Go ahead.
You look like you're
Rotting
melting. You're
hands.
so
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Your stress is stressing
Um,
me out. My stress is stressing them out, and it's a big ball of stress.
You know how I've been. You know how I was thinking a lot about the Draconia Historia recently.
Yes.
So it talks about how, in order to use the artifact, the people also needed a keystone, and it was charged with what sounds like energy from the Shadowfell.
Okay. So
And you said they called it the keystone.
They called the stone the keystone, but I'm assuming all the stones required are called keystones because there were 4
Maybe.
slots.
that's what I'm wondering too now. Is it the keystone that we need for the dragons, or is it the keystone that we need for something else? And in
I think
addition,
it's for that.
I
Because
think
they were
it's
undead.
related.
could a keynote be made? Can we make one?
I don't know. I think they have to be found.
There's not enough information in the Historia for that.
Uh-huh.
All I
There
know
were
is that
there were
spider
burnt
lady-
pages, but that part was in there. It talked about a keystone, and that was required to use the artifact in order to imprison the dragons and properly
Prison dragon.
fight against them.
And
So
as you
I
all discuss this new discovery into a few hours in the last for some requiring less sleep, some requiring no sleep. That is, we're going to take our mid-session break because. So yeah, everyone, we will see you soon. We do have our dice giveaway, of course. So if you are wanting to enter yourselves in for some new shiny click clack math rocks, you can type the word wizard into the Twitch chat. It is wizard, and we will draw the winner when we get back. So once again, that keyword is wizard. Enter it into the Twitch chat, and we will see you all welcome back, everyone. So where we last left off, the party was currently in deliberation of what steps to take next as the last watch was taking over. Zark and Kelvin, as you guys wrap up your conversations and your debates of what this stone that Sarah gave away could possibly be. Sarah, you have finished your 4-hour meditation at this point, and Elith, you just require light activity for 8 hours. So, what would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna stand guard outside the bowl.
Okay.
Since you said low action, I will remain in light activity. I will remain in power saving mode.
Okay.
In the bubble.
So Kelvin and Zark, either one of you can make a perception check with advantage, or each of you separately.
I have a quick meta question for people. Why did they go outside the bubble? When you watched?
Okay, I went outside the bubble. I don't know.
To watch the horses.
Well,
To watch
to be
the
honest,
horses.
I really did think
but
that
you
it
can
was
see
from my.
the horses.
Okay, but I'm kind of stupid.
Well, I thought it was from my patron.
I thought
So
this
went
was
out
a
there and I
given.
got on a knee. I'm like, "Hey, homies, I don't got what you need," but that was not what they were looking for. So, yeah.
So
Okay.
Kelvin and Zark.
Because if we're inside the bubble, I like being outside and being able to feel like the night air and everything. So
That's a good. I think that's a good answer.
That is a good
Thank you.
answer. That's the
I found the movie.
I also figured if we're chatting, then better not to be right next to everybody else.
exactly.
Who's rolling the perception check?
And Zark, please.
Yeah, I got you.
Fine, he can do it.
Oh God.
13. All right.
Apparently, I haven't got the sleep.
So
out of
as
my
you
eyes
both
yet.
like keep an
Let me
eye
roll
out
to see
into
what I
the
would've done.
now, it's a very misty morning air. And soon as the watch kind of like continues on, you guys do hear the sounds of the forest rather than the frogs and those sorts of creatures that are typically out at night.
Well, that was that was weird what they said happened in the middle of the night with those strange dark riders. I hope it works out.
Yeah, here's hoping. Here's also hoping that we don't have to deal with them ourselves on our watch.
Right.
Probably shouldn't have said that.
You know, these guys get themselves in a lot of trouble.
That yeah, that's seems to be our specialty.
I don't know what to think about how dangerous it seems to be hanging around, but
I'm taking full offense to this, by the way.
good.
Well,
It's not what I planned, but despite that, they still seem, well, fair enough. But I mean, a couple years ago, I was a toy maker, you know?
yeah. And I was a lowly little farmer boy who was a town guard of his small hometown. So
Oh shoot!
I mean,
You guys are like the same age, right?
think so. How old is Kelvin?
what did we establish last time? He's fairly young.
Like early to mid 20s is what I think what you and I discussed.
Yeah. And at least in terms of like human age.
He's a little over
Whatever
100
that-
years old in elven years.
Writing that down real quick.
So like 120-ish.
Okay. Yeah. I guess things don't always go to plan. I figure the best I can do is, I mean, I've got this armor that helps keep me safe, and despite my concerns about the danger, like, this group is, they're all right.
Yeah, I don't think I could ask for anybody better to watch my back out there than this group that we have here.
Sounds like that cleric you had before was pretty important to them too.
Yeah, Denton was. He was special, to put it lightly.
Well, I'm glad they had a good friend like that. I'm no cleric, and I don't think I could replace him. I wouldn't want to either, but I think I've got some things I can use to help keep him safe.
Well, all we can really do is try our best to watch out for each other. So.
Yeah. It's a lot better than being on your own. I liked running a toy shop, but it was a little bit lonely. I didn't have a lot of friends. But anyway, I've seen you summon that horse before. I've used Penny in battle. Is your companion you can summon any good in a fight?
Well, can't actually tell you because I haven't actually used my companion much in battle because
You literally have
usually when it I really haven't. No, I'm a terrible spellcaster. This is why I play a ranger. I'm not a spellcaster because I tend to let my bow do my work for me.
Fair enough. I was just curious. I've been feeling like I don't contribute a lot in the specific combat stuff sometimes.
Join the club.
And I've been trying to figure out if there's better ways to be helpful. And it just made me curious about your beast companion.
Well, don't necessarily need to be the best at combat to be good in a part of a group. Like for a while there, well, I may not be certainly the best at combat. For a while there, I was the one that was able to drive the cart with. Sorry, shut the fuck up. I was the one that drove the cart for a while because I was able to handle it so well. So
That's true. I don't know how to drive.
there's a certain finesse to it.
Well, that's pretty cool.
But yeah.
And soon the sun rises and the sounds of birds and other critters begin to grow around you. It's still a misty morning. There's a low-hanging fog. Dew is on the grass. You notice some spider webs between branches with the fresh dew drops as well.
True.
It's time to wake the party.
Dew drops.
Dew drops.
Dropped out.
Everybody get up.
Good morning.
Let's pop this bubble. Pop.
Oh,
This just goes through.
there was something I meant to ask earlier. I'm gonna DM Michael real quick.
Okay.
Okie
Hey,
dokie.
Kelvin.
Yeah.
Is that hammer done?
It is. So I, excuse me, I infuse second level cure wounds in this.
I can cast
And-
it times.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So once it's cast 10 times, it loses its infusion and you have to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is my first
So-
artificer in my...
Yeah. It uses my spellcasting abilities. So that should help a little bit.
All right. How am I gonna do this?
I can infuse it on a weapon as well, but it has to be a regular non-magical weapon for me to do it. So I figured that maybe a artisan tool, which is also something I can cast it on, might work better.
Yeah, that makes sense. Plus, I'm dry out of any regular non-magical weapons. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I hope
oh, I mean, no. That's
we
The one
can
that I
find a way
lost
to recover it, or
the one that I lost from Eldritch was a magical weapon. I'm speaking of the ones that we left in the Feywild.
Hmm.
They were nothing valuable, just a battle axe and a long sword.
gotcha.
Yeah. So a hammer works perfectly fine. Out of character, am I just gonna have to like remember this?
Yes.
Yeah. So the trick with D&D Beyond is they don't have a way to give somebody an infused item. So I'm gonna have to roll it and keep track of it.
Yeah, I'll just keep a note on the hammer. 10 charges.
Yeah, and
What, cure wounds?
yeah. So this is second level, so it's 2d8 plus 5.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
keep a
yeah.
spot
I have to
in
keep
our-
track with my dagger.
I'm gonna keep
If you make a
spot-
homebrew item,
You can also put it on your roll 20 sheet. On the right, it's got like charges and stuff that you can set.
Roll 20 sheet?
And Elif, what were you
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
I'm just gonna go into the group notes and make a charges section because I have a soul cage and now we have an axe and we're gonna have more.
Your
so then we
soul
can...
cage has expired, by the way, because it only lasts 8 hours.
Yeah, but when it, when
Yeah,
I
it
do
goes
have
back.
it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you all wake up and have your morning breakfast, what would you like to do?
Jack's gonna reach for his shadow, and then instead of casting Armor of Shadows, he's going to just sort of pat it on the ground, and then start putting on a set of studded leather armor from his pack.
Okay. As you reach for your shadow and you kind of like pat it, it does shift in form, and for a moment you see like a different shape go about it. Appendages reaching out from the back, but just for a faint moment, you can't quite make out what it was.
Okay, I'll pause. I'll reach behind my back. Do I feel anything?
So as you reach towards your back, you feel something tucked behind the strap of your leather armor. It is it's a quarterstaff in the length. It's about 6 feet in length, about your height. It's seemingly out of nowhere.
I'll look at it. I'll look at my shadow. It's cute, but don't think it's quite my style. And I'm gonna just sort of hold it for a moment, and then I'm gonna release and make it disappear.
Okay.
So, new tricks, huh? Very cute. And I'm just gonna keep putting my armor on.
So Jack, that thing I told you I can do, I could also put the alter self spell in an item, but I can only do one thing at a time, and it feels like healing right now at least would really help out our group. If we know in advance, if we're planning a secret mission and we know the day before, then I can prepare it during our long rest. But
that's good to know. Some of us could scout ahead. Those of us who can already disguise themselves scout ahead, and then if we have to disguise everyone, then we prepare.
Yeah,
sure. Seems like
just so you know, that's kind of how it works.
While everybody is going about doing their thing, I am taking the spell scroll, the Cone of Cold spell scroll, and I'm copying as much of it down into my spell book as possible. I'm assuming I get about a third of the way there, and
Roughly.
I'll remove the gold, all of the gold, from my inventory now. So when I do this in the future, I don't have to.
That makes me think of a question I have real quick as well. I've been putting off making any more progress on the eye I was making for Jack because it requires 8 hours in a day. Can I make partial progress, like 4 hours at a time or something like that?
You can get 2 hours of the way now.
Okay, and I'll just put that towards a day when I've accumulated 8 hours of it.
Okay. Well, probably a good time to go pay a visit to our new friend, Elvire. Did you say his name was?
Our new friend. Yep. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, right. You were asleep the whole time.
Oh.
Should we tell him?
No.
Someone you might want to meet.
It's a surprise.
Someone I might want to meet.
Yes.
It's a surprise.
Meet Daddy.
An achieved sorcerer, if you will.
That's apparently what he said. Old man lives in the woods, does magic. Seemed like something up your alley.
Old man lives in the woods, does magic. Any sort of inkling on what this old man is like? Any never mind.
I heard he's fun, in a bag of tricks.
He's a quirky guy. That guy.
He's just an old dude.
Yeah, just a guy being a dude.
Just a guy
Couple
being
big guys.
Well, I think Jack said it last night. We are, at the current moment, lacking allies. Maybe we should give him a visit. Just a guy
Perfect.
being a dude in the woods.
Okay. So
Perhaps we shouldn't be quick to volunteer the fact that we are on the run, unless we feel we can trust him.
Sorry, quick to volunteer. What?
that we're on the run.
If we're being honest, he actually doesn't even know about you guys. So
Are we on the run?
Yeah.
Aren't we?
The guards
when
said that we had 3 days, and then they were coming after us.
So we're on borrowed time.
Maybe.
I just mean, well, you know what? Your attitude right there, Ember, that's exactly the right attitude. We're not on the run. We're just passing through. But we've got problems then, right?
We're not
That's
on the
main-
run. We're just walking with enthusiasm, as the Disney
Sure.
park member would say.
Have people looking for us. No biggie.
I would like to detect thoughts on Jack.
Surface stats there, Jack?
Let me see. I'm thinking about. I'm trying to picture. I'm imagining a tower. I'm imagining someone. I'm imagining a talk with an old man. I'm thinking ahead to anything polite or excuses for visiting, and then I'm casting that side and thinking, no, we're gonna have to be honest with him at some point. We're probably gonna have to just come out and say it, because if we need allies, then we need to start with a foundation of honesty, and then I'll go deeper at some point. And
That's surface there.
maybe he could help us move around. Yeah, that's surface.
Surface. Are you going further,
Okay.
Ember?
So I was asking to detect thoughts specifically when he was saying we're on the run. Are we on the run? That's the right thought. Not his like
You're picking through for that
thought.
one.
Yeah. I appreciate the insight to meeting an old guy, but that's not what I was looking for.
old guy in the middle of
Okay.
the forest.
So the I guess I'm thinking about horses on a road. I'm thinking about a man with a dungeon. I'm thinking about cages. I'm thinking about bars. I'm thinking about a small boy alone in a jail
Whoa.
cell talking to his shadow. And then I'm also thinking about being strapped to something. I'm thinking about spikes. I'm thinking about a dagger. I'm thinking about
That's probably enough.
yeah, that's it.
Jack, you did not have a good night last night, did you?
Well, I
Oh,
don't think
no.
that was last night. I think that was probably
I have no idea that
a
even
few
happened.
years ago.
Hold on, Jack.
Okay, so you guys all begin to go into the woods through the direction of Zark. And out of nowhere, as you get very close to the front door, this stone wall just seems to appear in front of you, dilapidated, covered in vines, moss, much clearer in the day than it was at night, but the stone structure seems to be very unstable in its current state.
Did it you said it just kind of appeared in front of us. It is not like it appeared out of like a haze or a fog or anything. It just was kind of there.
You were stepping forward and then it was there. It didn't like shimmer
Okay.
into existence.
It didn't shimmer into existence.
Like you would like see through a fog, or like it didn't steadily grow more visible. You stepped,
Does
you
it-
took a step forward and it was there.
Can I make it? Can I see if there's like magic hiding this castle, and or tower, and if I understand what it is?
Yeah, go ahead and make a
Detects magic.
detect magic. That's what you would be doing.
I mean, it's just spell detect magic, but
It's detect magic,
I'm not
because
trying
you've
to
seen if there's
I'm not
magic in
trying
the
to cast
area.
the spell.
I mean, you can. Yeah, it's detect magic. What you're looking for here. You're looking for the what like type of magic and all that is. I mean, you through an Arcana check, you could surmise like if it's magical or not, but not the property of the spell itself.
Fine. I will detect magic then.
Okay. It's illusion. And you actually see in a radius around this tower, there is like this shimmering veil where as you step forward and cross through the threshold, it becomes visible. The tower itself is magic. There are a number of wards and other spells along those lines around it. But that's really
Cool.
it.
Detect magic stays up for 10 minutes, so I'm gonna use it to avoid any wards traps that this guy has set.
Okay.
Just passively as we go.
Does the tower look any different than from what I saw last night?
Tower is the same.
Okay, so is my arrow still there?
Your arrow is still there.
Okay, I want to take it back.
Okay, you get your arrow back.
Cool.
So as you all approach, no traps in place. You come to a large wooden door with metal braces going and linking the boards together. What would you like to do?
Gonna knock on the door if there is one.
Okay. So you knock. There is a large metal knocker. That is the symbol. Hold on, I had the symbol written down. Sorry, thought I was more prepared than I was. It is the knocker is a circle of 7 stars that has a kind of ring connecting them, and that is what makes up the knocker itself. After you strike the knocker, there is a moment of silence and more waiting. And after about 5 minutes, door kind of creaks open and you hear a voice. Yes?
You Elvine Creekhound.
I'm sorry, I already
Would
have
you-
purchased some treats from the scouts around here, and
No, we're not here to sell treats.
Scouts.
You met.
We're not here to sell the
We're not here
scouts.
to sell scouts. Where you met one of our number last night. Zakia tells us he was just telling us about you. You live around here, do you? I could see quite
You
a
knocked on
fascinating
his
tower.
door.
Quite a fascinating tower you have. I wonder if we happened to be passing by and we thought perhaps we might meet you first.
door swings wide open. Oh, come in. I am always happy to tell some tales. Upon entering, well, first of all, do you guys all enter?
Yes.
I do. And
Yeah.
is he holding the door open? Okay. Yeah, is he holding the door open? Is there a mat?
There is a you notice that in the shape of a hand, there is this like magical aura around the door itself, kind of. Oh, it's mage hand.
Okay, and as I walk into the thing, is he standing near the doorway? Do I pass him, or is he like, has he already gone inside?
He's like sidestep and opposite of where the door swings, and he is he's letting you pass, like as he greets you in.
Okay, as I go in, I just lean to the side. Very interesting illusion magic you've got going on here. I'd like to learn about it sometime. And then I continue in.
Okay. Upon entering this initial room, what you see is a wooden floor, but towards the center of the circular room, it turns to earth. And there is this large tree with dark wood and these lush green leaves. And what you see hanging from the branches are these round orange colored fruit. There is also a fireplace and various bookshelves and other there's different colors of glass, and just light seems to illuminate various parts of this chamber. from how the outside of the tower it looks like, the inside here looks very kept. There's a few cobwebs here and there and dust, but overall this tower is rather impressive. He's like, oh, excuse me, and he has the mage hand. Ember reaches up and plucks one of these fruits from the tree, and he hands it to you. He goes, I had a friend once who insisted on giving these to guests, and I guess I've picked up on the habit. Something about some sort of disease on the seas. Have a seat. My name is Avian Creek, and perhaps you've heard of me. Quite an accomplished sorcerer of my time. And I practice in the magics. Please sit down. And as these chairs kind of like are brought forward around a table, immediately dusted off as he just snaps his fingers, and you notice he's like kind of shuffling along, and he sits down.
There have been riders coming through near here. I wonder if you might know anything about them. Dark, black horses, fiery manes, white eyes, dead skin, that kind of thing. Ring any bells?
The undead are not permitted to cross my threshold. I did have this blessed by quite an amazing woman of my past. You don't know who she is, but she was quite amazing cleric. Worshiper of Shanti. Anyway, would you like some tea?
I'd love some tea.
I would love some tea. Do you have any honey?
Indeed, I believe I have some somewhere. And he gives you each a cup and offers you sweetener and cream if you so choose. Now, how can I help a group of weary travelers today?
I suppose we're mainly here to pass the time and meet a friendly new face. Yeah, it sounded like you sounded quite welcoming to our friend Zarkir. He was quite touched by your offer of porridge. Good to see someone so sociable around these parts.
I'm sorry, there's some miscommunication. I don't have any porridge, but I made a nice soup last night.
Oh. I just mean in these troubled times, I'm so glad to see someone so hospitable. You didn't happen to come by your arts at the Mage University near Astoria, did you?
He kind of like sits up straight, like boastfully, and I'm like running his fingers through his beard. Of course, I'm not a boastful wizard myself, but I was in fact the tutor of the current Archmage of the College of Agrin College of Magic, or the Arcane Keep.
Would you mind telling me your full name again?
Vine Creek. Perhaps you've heard of me. I am an accomplished sorcerer of my time.
Can I do like a history or arcana or like some type of check to see if I have ever heard of this guy?
Yeah, make a history check.
Okay. Uh, 24.
24. Elvira Creekhip is a name that is known to few. He was once some sort of almost like a celebrity wizard and part of a group of traveling adventurers himself at one point, and that's where he gained a lot of his knowledge. You know him from a time that he traveled at sea. and there was a monstrous creature that resided there, was terrorizing sailors and stopping trade for many years, and he and his members defeated the creature known as a kraken, and that is where his tale comes from. He has also ventured to 3 of the major elemental planes, avoided the plane of fire. It's just a very dusty book that you picked up one day that was like tucked behind the shelf. Maybe it fell back there. Maybe someone deliberately put it there. Of Iron Creek Hip is an accomplished wizard of his time. He's done many feats.
Well traveled, pretty accomplished. I was wondering if you could describe your time with the Kraken to us. It seems interesting.
I, of course, be more than happy to. You see, I was there in the Noctipus State Isles, cohorting with pirates and the like of other criminals, avoiding the law of the Empire and whatnot. At the time, I happened to find myself on a crew. My compatriots, my traveling companions at the time. It was my intent to head back to the kingdom of Ayash, to my beloved, but we were unfortunately attacked and washed up on some sort of strange island that was not of this world. And he goes on and tells the story of how he found a submerged temple of a large layer of the Kraken, and using his spell of water breathing he and his compatriots were able to eventually cause a massive structural collapse on the Kraken that was its final demise. He's like, if you would look over there, there is a jar with a amount of liquid, and there is a very large eyeball kind of just floating. The nerve from the back of it still kind of like hanging all shriveled.
Was that a Kraken?
It was just an eyeball, my lad. It's nothing to be afraid of.
That seems a very impressive feat. This love of yours from Ayash. You wouldn't happen to remember her name, would you?
Iris.
I love that.
You've got to be shitting me. Fucking knew it.
I miss her.
Yeah. I doubt. Do you think she misses us?
Oh yeah, I know she misses me.
Yeah. The rest of us, just hit or miss.
I know she misses Denton.
Oh, I mean, we all missed.
Sad.
I
Have some chat, please.
Are you guys having this conversation like out loud?
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. I have a feeling my compatriots here might know your Iris.
Oh, is that
They
so?
do hail from Ayash.
Oh, you must tell me more about this kingdom you're so to hail from.
Well, Zark, I think it's better if you go first.
What's there to say about Mother Iris?
She's well.
Yeah, she's doing well. Last time we heard, granted, it has been 2 years now. So.
Is very strong.
It's been 1 year
Yeah.
for you, Zark. Well,
Oh, 1 year,
more
sorry.
long time. 3-ish weeks, as far as the time you've experienced. But 1 year has passed while you were gone.
You met her
and I
3
never got
weeks
to write my letter home. What I was gonna do. Damn it. Oh well. Before we left.
Unfortunately, due to attack, I was never able to finish my circle to visit her, and I'm just, years have caught up to me in my time.
Well,
Hmm.
I'm sure she would love to see you and reconnect. She lives a very peaceful life. I'm sure you would love that.
Mostly.
She's
peaceful life.
she dwells in Grunner's Wood right now. Last time I checked.
Anyway, kind of like takes this nasty handkerchief and dabs his eyes with it.
Aw. It's so cute, but so gross.
Is there anything that, any particular reason why you've come to my door? My
Yes.
kids, my children have not visited me in years. I'd rather hardly think that strangers would. And he points to Shada and he goes, you remind me of my grandson. He and I once defeated several vampires in an inn at one point in our lives.
All right, if you don't mind me asking, what part of me reminds you of your grandson?
Mostly the sword that you hold at your hip. I can't remember his name.
All right, Professor Oak, calm down.
Yeah, you just saw it as a for whoever's closest to him.
For those of you who
That's
don't
kinda
know,
sad.
he claimed Shada's character was his grandson, like throughout the whole one shot, and he actually wasn't. Like just
No.
My grandson was kind of a furry man, so. Anyway.
By the way, the character I played was a tiefling.
A tiefling paladin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a pure white porcelain skin tiefling paladin.
Anyway,
Elviron, do you keep track of current events by any means? And by current events, I don't just mean politics. I mean things like dragon attacks on the realm, that sort of thing.
Have you know, young man, that my tower used to be in the northern reaches of the Ceravel Federation?
Oh, you moved it recently?
No, through a number of stored magics, I had to expense them in the case of emergency. Would be able to do it again.
Are you aware that the dragons have returned? That they are currently rampaging through Ceravel as we speak? That there are people fleeing the country and have been doing so for a while now? And that refugees are being rounded up now and being sent for experimentation?
I am aware of the draconic attacks.
You are aware, then, I suppose, that these troubling times present danger for a great many people. We are among them. I suppose at this point we're looking for allies where we can find them.
Make a persuasion check. Noted, Kelvin.
Ooh, 15.
Okay. I don't know if you realize, but I'm not quite up to my fighting years. I normally let the young people handle such things.
And for someone of your accomplishment, it's absolutely your right to do that. But being up for fighting is not the same as aiding and assisting people. You could aid and assist, or you could not fight.
That's true. And we do have the youth aspect, but you have a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience that would be very helpful for us.
What do you require?
Just your friendship for now. Though we may
Please understand. Yeah. Precisely. Just as Elith says. We're not asking you to endanger yourself by any means, simply to make your acquaintance. Perhaps we could call on you, and you, by all means, could call on us.
And if you have a moment, take a look at my my spell book and see what you would add.
Do you have the supplies to transcribe such spells?
I can take notes on what you would add. I'm headed to the college currently. Have recently been a professor at the college, and I hope to transcribe them once I get there, but I don't know what I don't know. You might know what I don't know.
He takes a moment to. I'm gonna roll an Arcana check with him. Okay. He takes a moment to look over your spell book. Okay. You're quite the offensive type of kind of caster, aren't you?
That is my my specialty, specifically this. And I just produced flame in my hand.
Yes, the fire and all that.
Indeed.
Perhaps I could provide a few scrolls from my own store upstairs that you could use. The major thing you're lacking is any sort of communication or way of finding things out. Sometimes gaining insight is the most valuable thing you can do to win over a fight. I'm sure none of you are able to scry into the otherworldly or look upon another location.
I will say I've tried. It is not my strong suit.
I have limited use for that. If I use my cage, I can.
I can do it, but it is not easy for me.
You also do not have any protection from anyone watching you.
Scry, and ye shall be scryed upon.
No, we in fact have reason to think that there may be a few prying eyes on us now and again.
Oh, not here.
I suppose you might. I'm glad to hear that. Perhaps it's something you could help us with.
Sir, I'm gonna bring Gari up to the front. And he's a newer little spellcaster. Very, very new. I know that you have a lot of high level and deep knowledge scrolls, but do you have anything any water based scrolls or books or things of the like that we could borrow?
Does the boy have a book?
No, not well. We're working on it.
We're taking him to the college now.
All of you, follow me upstairs.
Understood.
You kind of like very slowly. You know, any part of a video game where you have to follow an NPC. That's what you all are experiencing right now.
Yeah, you gotta
Like if we get in front of him, he stops.
The part of Skyrim where you're following the sorcerer,
Or
to
you get too far ahead and it's like,
and like you get too far ahead, they stop and they wait for you to come back. That's what you're all experiencing right now. It's just one stare after another.
oh my god.
Soon enough, though, after about.
I'm gonna levitate myself for a while.
Wait, hold on. Can't he levitate as well?
He can. He is levitating
He's
and he's
just-
still moving this
God.
slowly.
So as he, is flying up, as you reach the next floor, which is there is a large central table with a purple cloth covering it, and the walls are lined with books and tomes and other sources. There is a statue as well, that is has a symbol of it's like a pillar with a circle of 7 stars, same one that you saw on the front door. Yes, that is a cat. And there is just a wide variety of things here. So, I do not know how much use my collection could be to you all, but perhaps you may find some insight here.
Thank you.
We should see if you wouldn't happen to have any empty spell books, or maybe spell books with just level 1 spells transcribed.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion. Okay. Better than I thought it was gonna be. 18.
18. So the you kind of like Ryan kind of steps forward on his birch staff, the blue gemstone kind of flickering like a light bulb about to go out. He like leans down and looks Gar, you're like face to face, right in the eyes. He goes, The boy has potential to be a sorcerer, wizard, I should say. I always get the two mixed up. Of talent. Young lad, it's been quite some time and many years since I have taken on an apprentice. But perhaps I can pass on what little knowledge I have to you, so the legacy of my magics may carry on, legendary as they are.
Is he offering to take care of the kid?
Sounded more temporary to me. Just while we're here.
It
I mean, an apprentice isn't an apprentice for one day.
And to learn this type of thing, you need to spend a while studying. I think this is a discussion that Gary and Elth should be having.
I do feel like he'd be safer here than in the college.
I was thinking that. I think it's a very special opportunity. I think it'd be very good for him, especially with him slaying the Kraken and all.
Plus, it saves us a trip.
I just wonder if he has enough base knowledge.
And don't forget the time that I was the one who charmed the harpy. Yes.
No way. The harpy?
Yes, harpies lure sailors to the death just as much like a merwoman, and I was able to charm the harpy.
I'm very well versed in harpies, I think. Well, I don't know about Sarah, but I know about harpies. I think they're really cool. Anything that can lure a ship to its death, A-okay by me.
Yeah. I definitely think he has potential.
You without a doubt has potential. Say, if we were to let Gari stay with you, is there a way we could check up with him periodically?
He looks at you and he says, What was your name?
My name is Ember. Ember Alphraxius. I'm a professor at the college. Or I was.
You may, the next floor up is one that you may find interesting. It holds the runes to find this place once more, so that you may lose it, or need to easily find
Or need
a
to
way
come back
escape.
here.
Indeed, I am oft to find myself loss of words, as expansive as my vocabulary is.
There's a circle upstairs that I can study.
Indeed.
Wonderful.
It's very generous.
I will
Do you
be right
know
back.
of any other circles?
Ember's already going upstairs to like copy down the circle.
Okay.
I'm sorry? Elf?
Which
Yeah.
one?
But
And I
not,
point.
but not, he adjusts his spectacles, but not quite your ears, sir.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. But I was curious if you are aware of any other significant places that would have magic circles.
Why, there are many magic circles out in the world.
We're finding our attentions pulled in a number of places at once. So I wonder if, in particular, we're thinking of somewhere northeast, Minaria, Derwin, Latrina.
Do you have the means to travel via circle?
I believe we do, unless Ember
The
is about to
professor,
give me a bad
the professor upstairs. Yeah.
I was once an acquaintance of a leader of the order of monks to the northern reaches near Miernas. I did spend a year there in meditation to enlighten my mind further. During that time, I did in fact make a circle for my own means, but I do not know their current status of welcoming strangers just appearing in their own courtyard.
I see. Myrnus, good to know. Perhaps we could ask around and learn more. The main thing is knowing that there might be one, and then there we could ask around.
He would know the runes to access it.
I'm not quite comfortable with sharing the means to get there, but perhaps if you were to come visit me, I could take you
I
there.
think that's fine. That would be very acceptable. It's like you said, it's fighting all that sort of thing as a young man's game, a young person's game. But there's still a place for people like you. Place. Your wisdom and your intellect, all these things can certainly help benefit the rest of us. And in return, if there's anything you need done, I trust you'll reach out. Because we're certainly capable.
Perhaps during your travels, I am in fact looking for an item that could provide. I've recently gained knowledge of that may be dangerous to be floating about throughout the Empire. It is a item containing the fragment of the soul of an elemental of immense power. His name was Imix. If you do come across such an object, I would require it to be in my possession.
I'm upstairs, right?
Yeah.
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 Fuck.
That may be something
happens when you split the party.
our wizard friend would be interested in.
There
What
are
does it
other
look like?
such items about the world, but they have been lost. And if you do come across any of them, they are far too dangerous to be in the possession of some hooligan to run across the streets with.
Could I get a quick read on him about that?
Make an insight check.
About that weapon. Insight. I'm gonna go ahead and add my flash of genius to that just to be sure.
Okay.
So 25.
So there's definitely more than he is letting on about the staff in particular, or the other related items. You can't really discern if he is being, if he has a malicious intent, because him just inquiring about an object is not a telling trait.
He's just an old man. Why we always gotta read into everybody? Let's just face the consequences. We're already balls
We
deep in
already
shit.
faced the consequences.
We're already balls deep in shit. What else can we be in? You know what I mean?
I have returned. What did I miss?
You miss nothing. We're just,
Wait.
chatting up.
We're just
Silence.
offering to return a favor if he wants any help from us.
Oh, the casual favor,
What does the you said it was a staff?
Indeed.
What does it look like, if I may ask?
It looks like a burnt branch of a tree that's still burning, and deep beneath its surface are embers glowing red hot, but cool to the touch.
Hear that, Ember? You and the staff have something in common.
I know the staff he's talking about, dickhead.
That makes it even better.
At the point is a dull purple flame that shows the current energy of life essence, essentially, it is feeding off its owner.
This sounds familiar. Sounds like my walking cane.
Well, and you said the name was Ivis?
He said, I'm Mix.
IMIX.
Thank you.
Imix?
Apparently there's an elemental within the artifact.
It's a primordial elemental.
Yes, please, Ember. Tell us what you know about this artifact.
He's not there. He's upstairs.
He came.
He said he came back.
He came back down.
He came back to the Discord. He didn't come back to in-game.
Yeah, no, I came back. Yes, I am upstairs.
I thought you were down here. No, you're
You're upstairs?
I am upstairs. You guys are having this conversation sans me.
When you said I'm back, I thought you came back.
I was confused.
Well,
No,
Okay.
I had to go to the bathroom and I was leaving and then I heard IMIX and I was like, wait, what? I'm upstairs.
Okay.
Anyway,
Weird.
I have your young wizard friend upstairs. Is there anything else I can offer you for such a favor?
Just like to
Extra magic?
explore your library if that's okay.
By all means, but I do ask that you be careful with Thompson. Avoid anything with a blue and gold trim. It is volatile in nature, and if you open it, you will explode.
Are you saying this so we don't open it, or will we actually explode?
It is a security measure in case any thieves enter into my abode.
We're not thieves. We're cool guys.
that's just how they're.
It probably doesn't discriminate. If it's like the glyph of warding, then it just.
He points his finger at Sarah and he says, I believe that you may have sticky fingers in the past. Is that true?
I may have taken one or two things, but I have repented since then.
Make a
You
wisdom
can't
saving
prove anything.
A wisdom saving throw.
Yep. As you
Why?
feel a force press in on the barrier of your mind.
20! Natural 20!
You managed to fight off his. You felt this before. It's when Ember has tried to read your mind. Yes, and you just like ward off. You goes, all right.
You win this round.
I would like to take a look around the library for any water-based books or scrolls.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, I was in the.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a investigation check.
Just to clarify, I was in the restroom when y'all were talking to the guy. Did y'all talk to him about the ruin with
You have
the
not.
keystones? Okay, I would like
We
to talk to
didn't.
him about that.
Okay.
If he may know the whereabouts of the other stones.
I want to research about some of the stuff from the Historia, the Draconia Historia, like Kargrath Ren, Tyrion, the Apprentice, the battle,
Everything this
stuff like that.
might have from things that happened, like 3 ages ago.
What?
What?
Nothing.
Well, we're like, what?
Okay.
Only rolled a 15.
Okay.
I'm gonna give her a flash of genius and myself as well.
Thank you. Ding.
Okay. So, Elith, we'll start with you. You are searching through the books and you do find a book with a white cover, and it has a map drawn out with gold lettering. It says Adventures in the Plane of Water.
Water.
Essentially, the book speaks about the elemental plane of water, and the various beings that dwell within, including the different types of the water gens, how they have their elegant palaces built under the sea, and luxurious amounts of wealth that even their slaves that they have are wealthy as well and well off. The water gen are basically like lords of the elemental plane of water. It also mentions that there is a being that once existed within there named Olhydra, that was a primordial water elemental that had control over both water and acid. That was once a tyrant of the elemental plane of water, and developing anything it could into its currents. Where's the stupid page? And basically, there's no spells. There's not a whole lot of water-based spells. There is think like control water, create water, or like really the only two big ones. But like elemental spells themselves aren't really like a thing all the time, unless you're like a druid. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Tidal wave is a 3rd level water spell.
Yeah, that is. And wall of water.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the only ones.
Create or destroy water. What's the other one? The snowstorm, snowball storm.
Cold. It's not water.
Well, I don't want him to sell his soul to a djinn like that. That would not be excellent. Does he have a soul?
More information. I guess you never really tried. You also find a book just perusing through that mentions the heritage of tieflings and a plane known as the Nine Hells that is ruled over by not fiends but devils. Not demons but devils. It's vague, but essentially it just talks about that any soul that is corrupted when they die is turned into one of these creatures of the Nine Hells and takes part in what's called the Blood War, which is the Nine Hells fighting off the constant fight between the Abyss and the princes that lie within. But other than that, it's old, it's faded. There's not much else that you see.
It's so depressing. Thank you very much.
Kelvin, what were you looking for?
Information pertaining to things we learned in the Historia. So like Tyrion, the apprentice that survived.
What did you get?
Kargareth Ren, a 24 with my flash of genius.
By the way, the water gins are called Marids. I don't know if you guys care, but a Marid is what the specific type of genie mentions in there. Okay, so you're looking through the tomes, and you do find a book that mentions the events that happened within the 1st century.
Okay.
Make an intelligence check. And do you read? You read Draconic?
No.
Elvish?
Elvish, yes.
Okay. So you do miss a few parts, but there are a lot of things mentioned in there. So, what'd you get on your intelligence?
A 9, and I'll go ahead and use another flash of genius on that.
Oh, 14. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I have one left already.
Okay. So essentially what the book mentions is the overall fight that took on between the mortal realm and the onslaught of the dragons. The dragons were led by a dark and otherworldly dragon known as Veskar the Insatiable.
Veskar.
Veskar.
That's a name we didn't know.
Yeah, it was Blake the Insatiable. Okay.
The Veskar was the first uniting voice of dragons since the fall of Tiamat and banishment of Tiamat to the 9 hells. It was through Veskar and his generals known as Kargareth Ren. There's also where did I put their names? My bad.
Oh my god, this is super important, guys.
Kargareth Ren, who fell during the Battle of Trun. Also, the Dalzion Door, the Thunderous Cloud, Giramor the Storm, Shadila the Maw, and Morgamin of the Wastes. Only 2 of the dragons escaped the war, of the generals, Shadila the Maw and Giramor of the Storm. The other ones were imprisoned within an arcane keeps throughout the mortal realm, aside from Veskar, who was sealed in the Shadow Realm.
Can you give us all of these names at some point in the future? So
yes, so they're all the names except for Veskar is in the fragmented book of
right. Okay.
that you have.
See the one that was blocked out?
Yeah. So Shadila the Maw and Giramor of the Storm were the only 2 that escaped imprisonment. The other ones were locked away. Now, the book also mentions that there were other dragons. There were levels to their army, and they didn't only have dragons that caused the force, even though the dragons themselves were very effective in battle. They did have other types of beings, other humans that fell under their ranks and subjugated to them. And essentially they took over various parts of the world and the different kingdoms.
So my internet's been good this whole time, but I just cut out for like 2 minutes.
I can fill you in again.
Okay. So frustrating.
Yeah.
The worst time
We
for
learned
that.
about dragons and original dragons, and
Okay.
Learned the name of the unnamed one that was
Yes.
in the documents.
something with a V.
Veskar.
Was there anything to confirm my suspicion for either location for the battle?
So there was a mention of the Battle of Trun. There is a valley called the Trun Valley that is north to the Sekhmet Theocracy, where the Sekhmet Theocracy goes into the Azure marshlands.
Yeah.
There is a mountain ranges, and there is, in fact, there was at the time a fortress that Kargrathrin had as his keep and his lair and where he kept his hoard. Despite being a united force and dragons typically being selfish and very territorial, they still had their own hordes, they still had their own territory, their own forces. They just listened to Beskar.
I just noticed there's a place on the map called Trun Valley.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys have missed it for a while.
Okay. Wow.
I out of character. I've been to the Sekhmet Theocracy. Just in a one shot.
Prove it.
Um,
How's Dragon
the
Camp going?
the book doesn't mention where the dragons were sealed. It doesn't mention anything about an artifact or the Battle of Broken Glass. It's kind of incomplete. But that is what it gives you, is the names of the forces, the various dragons that existed that were slain. Basically the elder dragon lords are what the generals are referred to. They're well beyond the years of what dragons are known to live through.
Okay.
The rest are just ranks that could be filled in or subjugated. A less powerful dragon was subjugated under a dragon. But it does say that Shadila the Maul was a green dragon, and Giramor the Storm was blue.
Right. Now,
The book also mentions that there were metallic dragon lords in this world during this time as well that actually led the I'm gonna put mortal, because dragons live much longer than any other race, against them as well. The last known dragon lord metallic dragon lord to live was slain in the Battle of the Great Keep during the Great Conquering.
A great keep.
How great was it?
Would have been that great.
pretty great. I think it was pretty great. They
The
just said it
Grey,
twice.
the Great
Oh.
Conquering.
Never
Which-
mind. I thought you said
Ember-
the Great Conquering.
Amber
Like, well,
and Sarah, you guys know this because it's a huge part of your history. Sarah, you lived through it. The Great Conquering happened 56 years ago, and it was
my parents died.
the unification of the Varlarian Empire.
I'd be off, so I would have copied down the circle and then looked for any other circles that he might have annotated nearby.
Make an
You're
investigation
just
check.
trying to travel all over the world, aren't you? Look at him go.
Yeah, because we did ask about those circles, so I want to see if I can find anything about
I am curious if there's any public circles that we don't know of.
24.
24. There is a circle noted for the Zalrain College of Magic.
Yeah.
He was acquainted, and it's like noted that he was acquainted with the Archmage before the current Archmage.
Mm-hmm.
Taught him a thing or two. It says in underlined writing.
Okay.
And then the last one is the magic circle that was part of the Adventurers Guild in Terranold.
I think I might already have that one. No, I don't. Okay.
Is anybody else doing anything?
Yeah, I
Sorry.
said I wanted to talk to him
Okay.
about if he knew what the circle on the ground with the gems meant, or like the keystones, quote unquote. Basically just because I haven't talked to him, and apparently they didn't mention it. If he knows what it does,
I
if it's
believe that
effective.
knowledge may be beyond your years and quite dangerous.
Well, I'm already in the thick of it, so I feel like I have no point. Not no point, but there's no use in denying it because I'm already in it.
I let the elves from like the other side of the room tell them that we gave up one of them.
Is there a reaction from him when she said when she yells at him like shut the fuck up?
He keeps a straight face as far as you
Oh,
can tell.
okay. And then I'm like shut the fuck up, and then I turn. I'm like, yeah, because I may have activated, that little sphere thing by ripping the white gem keystone thing, and then these creatures appeared out of nowhere, and then we had to fight them, and so I put it back, and then I guess that started this whole mess. Not this whole mess, like what we're trying to do now, but that little side thing. And yesterday, I have been carrying around this green glowing gemstone, and I was like, I minor illusion what it looks like in my hand. And there's these undead people on horses came in the middle of the night last night and asked for the keystone, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So I showed all the stones, and that was the one, and they took it. Or they didn't take it, I gave it to them out of fear for my friends. So
he kind of like
they have
reaches out and he like clutches his chest.
he dying?
I need to sit down.
I go get him a chair. Here you go.
I want to start by saying that I do not blame you for what you did.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I said.
Your friends and you would have surely died before the 3 of the edicts. Have you not turned over the stone? But that is a grim sign indeed.
Yeah,
Did you say they're called the edicts?
I'm sorry, I didn't know you're near me. Did you say they're called the edict?
There was a time in which when I was traveling within the Noctipus State Isles, there was a temple that we came across deep in the jungle, and that was guarded by a confined married jinn. Inside this temple was a black chest made of onyx. We dared not open it, but through our studies, we found that it was one of the generals of a terrible named beast I dare not speak. Which led me to research and pursue other knowledge on this. So you see, a wizard's responsibility beyond magics is the gain of knowledge and research. It's where we gain our own magics from. All I was able to find was that what began written history as we know it was the defeat of a terrible entity. This was during my studies at the Sekhmet Theocracy. The head priest is quite nice. You should if you ever have the chance to stop by, you could go to the Blessed City Demod and introduce yourselves. Say that a Valor Creek have sent you. He's quite a nice man. Anyway,
I thought he died.
Had 9 generals that lost their power upon their defeat that could be revitalized through a dark ritual of sacrifice of the innocent. Part of the group was the 5 edicts. They were knights that had fallen from grace and had consumed by the corruption of this unspoken being. Said that upon his return they will be the first 5 to awaken and revitalize their fellow leaders of the undead. One such of these leaders is confined beneath and a ruined temple of Bahamut, within the Fedoran swamp. It was once part of the Golden Kingdom of Northos that had long since fallen prior to these events. There are, like I said, the 5 edicts each represent an aspect of demise. There's the leader of the 5, Rylon, the Edict of Ruin. He was a human that fell from grace once he learned of the. He killed his lover's betrothed in anger. There was Valorn and an elf, the Edict of Dust, who through the hunger of monetary wealth and killed all who stood between him and his goals. There was Ashira, a dragonborn, the Edict of Loss, who fell from grace upon learning the death of her parents. Thokgrim, he was half orc, the Edict of Despair. He left his sworn oath to be the leader of an orc force that killed hundreds, thousands. Just struck the fear of death in anyone that knew his name. And then finally, there's Lodaris, a tiefling, the Edict of Pain. Through being a knight and capturing and a dark sorcerer, to get information of where children were, he learned that he had a knack for torturing. And he didn't only do it well, he enjoyed it, he loved it. And it was through those horrendous acts that the 5 fell from grace and became what they were to lead the masses of the Unspoken One.
That's heavy. So hypothetically, if they found the other 2 stones, they would summon one of them?
The stones represent the keys to a lock that keep the 6 general at bay. Surrounding its prison is a moat of holy water that flooded the area.
Oh, it's holy water? I almost drowned in that shit.
Upon unlocking the arcane, it will allow Arcandion.
Can those spirits cross the holy water or no?
Arcandion,
The ones that I gave the stone.
Arcandion, the cursed flesh, would be free.
Oh, shit.
If you find the stones, bring them here so I can destroy them.
Will do. I'll make sure. Hopefully the red one and the blue one are not found, and we find them in time to give them to you.
He grabs you by the shirt while sitting down and like pulls you in. He goes, and just know you could be responsible for the death of millions if you do not.
Oh boy.
Bro, you can't just do that. You can't just put everyone's lives on me. Ah! Okay, well, team, new objective.
We've
Side quest.
heard that name before.
Side quest to the quest.
Yeah, that name is. You said it was Arcandion, I believe.
Oh,
Right?
oh,
It's the
Arcandion,
the one Ember talked to, right?
Yes, sir.
If we can get spelling on these Salcos, that would be awesome because we have
Yeah,
like 3
yeah.
different versions.
Most
If you can copy and paste basically entirely what you said, that'd be nice.
we have a lot of the names in the group notes as well. So
Yeah, in like 3 different spellings.
Oh my gosh, my head hurts so much information were just thrown at me.
I
But
know, you guys did well by coming to visit Elviron.
Yes.
yeah, it's great. Look, unfortunately for you, my typing's not that well. So,
we're seeing Ember in the future.
bruh,
Gonna have a
like,
big old tower.
Oh, this.
I'm gonna cry. If he has a big old house, I might have just destroyed the world by giving that guy the green stone. Don't nod. You told me to give it to him.
We'll see.
So
So what?
he mentioned a magic circle that's somewhere near Iosh, right? That Ember said he thought he might have, maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the Fellborn swamp, I believe. Fellborn. I can't. Yeah, Feldorn.
Fedorn.
The swamp.
The Fedorn Swamp. Oh
Yeah.
boy. That's
And these
Hellboy
guys
love,
are
bro.
evil.
So
We're gonna.
as the
gonna have to
party
go there
learns
too.
this grim news of what has been
Oh my
conspiring all
goodness.
along, that is where we're gonna end the session for tonight.
Cliffhanger!
Fuck the dragons. The dragons are now the side quest. This is the main quest.
Well, the dragons are absolutely a part of this.
Nah, they're a side quest though.
All
They-
right, so
Okay.
a lot of puzzle. I'm so excited. A lot of
Oh
guys,
wow!
Session 1. I built to this, and finally puzzle pieces are coming together. So,
74 episodes to get there, but we're here.
hey,
Who would have thought that green gem that Sarah had
I'm just saying,
forever?
if we didn't shop 20 of those episodes, then we would have gotten here a lot sooner. But I just love shopping.
I just want to point out that if you actually go back to that session, there was a skeletal tail that Reven saw when he peeked his head on the other side of the holy water. So yeah, that creature was there the whole time. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning to our session tonight. Don't forget that if you miss any or all part of this session, you can always tune in to our YouTube channel or the podcast network. Just search Prestige Encounters. We will be there. Oh my gosh, my heart. I'm so excited. I just want to go ahead and thank our role players. First and foremost, as Elf Vasago, our Tiefling Warlock.
Thank you. The applause is not necessary. So that was fun. Lots to think about. I'm just gonna skip over and we're gonna give thanks to our fire wizard, Ember Alphraxius.
Yo, have a
What
good
type of
night.
fire wizard though?
I am a
Huh?
fire wizard. We'll skip over to Sarah rest.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Very anticlimactic, but whatever. I'll take it. Thanks
got it.
for watching.
Show your roll
Now,
with pride.
now it all makes sense. Now I gotta use my brain to think. God, I hate this. Okay. Passing it over to Shada. Yay.
All right, thanks, Sarah. This was
Why are
very
names so close? I don't
eventful-
like it.
a very eventful session. I don't have my sword anymore.
You have
So
one of
sad.
your two swords.
I do, but you know,
You have the one made
It's not the same.
by the fucking giant.
it's not the same. What about the one made by me? All right. All right.
True.
Yeah. We got a whole lot of stuff to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Right, and thank you to our elven artificer, who you probably wouldn't be able to tell is an elf at this point. Kelvin.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Hey,
The
guys.
art is updated, isn't it?
Is it?
Yo, he's an elf. Look at that.
Um,
He's a human.
Oh, I thought you meant with the human ears now. I was like, wait, no.
Oh.
If only studying was this much fun in real life.
It is real life.
Oh yeah.
We knew what
Yeah.
That's
But,
why we escaped to a fantasy world.
Indeed.
Yet we still have to pay taxes. We're being threatened by the government. Huh, it doesn't seem like fantasy to me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's touching a little too close to home now. Anyway.
In any case, thanks for joining us, guys.
Taxes.
Next up is
We did
Midnight
get
Jack.
taxed.
That's me. Thank you. And also, of course, thank you to our rootnest, tootnest, still waiting on summoning his magic beastiest crossbow slinger, Zerk Nacella. Is the G silent?
Yes, the G is silent.
The G is silent, like oh my odd.
Real
Like-
G's move in silence.
I thought it was like
Anya.
neat, like neat. I thought that was the name, like the noise, like gnocchi. It was like gnocchi.
Niacella.
Yes, Stella.
Stella.
Yes, Yella. And of
Christ.
course, none of us would be here without a story or anything to go off of if it weren't for our lovely dungeon master Salkos.
I thought we already thanked him.
No,
Anything.
Because
He
it
deserves
goes back to him at the
It
end.
goes south.
Yay! It's come full circle.
Thank you.
The
Zara.
story is adding
And
up.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight. It's great having you so far. We'll see you next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for session 75 of Prestige Encounters. You all have a great night and bye.
Can't wait for session 420.
Bye.